Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Gonna have an aneurysm if we don't start recording this podcast right now. So you know what? Shut your mouth, Crispy. Hello everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 547. My name is Nick Henderson. I am joined this evening by Brad Simons,
hello.
Nolan Hedstrom,
hey,
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
Okay, now proceed to name as many Aaron Eckhart movies
Faster.
as you can possibly name. Go.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Thank you for smoking.
I got nothing.
Meet Bill.
White House Down.
Wait, there was the one where he was like a Frankenstein or something.
Oh yeah, I Frankenstein. Wasn't it I
man.
Frankenstein?
Wait,
Someone in the
he
chat
in
just said, I Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Alba was also in that Meet Bill movie.
She was also in...
I
I don't know where I was going with that.
What else is
In
there?
my
in Eckhart?
dreams.
For a second, I thought she was in Deep Blue Sea, and then I was like, no, that's that
the
other
blue?
movie, Into the Blue.
Into
Yeah.
the Blue?
Yeah, they both have the word blue in them.
Yeah.
I have
Aaron
no idea.
Brock.
And they
Brockovich?
leave you with blue balls. What?
Oh.
Aaron Brockovich? Really?
Really?
That's what Carlos says.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
it's Carlos.
Sure
He's a
only
liar.
Julia
I
You're
don't know.
thinking of Julia
He might
Roberts.
Yeah.
Battle
Battle
Los
LA,
Angeles.
Yeah.
He's had some stinkers.
Oh my God.
This is
what
your
else
fault,
has he
Brad.
been in?
No, it's not.
That chiseled jaw. I'm trying to think. He's been in other
That
things.
butt
All right.
chin. and
Yeah.
The gap tooth.
All right.
His career's over though, right?
Is it?
Why?
Come on.
What does that even mean?
We just gotta be real here.
Come on.
We gotta
Why?
be real. Hollywood doesn't care about
His
Aaron
career
Eckhart
is over
anymore.
just as much as Pauly Shore's
I
career is over.
love that they cast somebody with a butt chin to play Two-Face, because when his face got all fucked up,
It's very
there was
easy.
still like half a butt on his normal side.
Do you think Pauly Shore has made more money in his Hollywood career than Aaron Eckhart?
Probably. Those 90s movies he was in were pretty
Adjusting
lucrative.
for inflation?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We are a video game podcast. Let's rein it in. We need to move on. Brad really is going to have an aneurysm. I know he wants to talk about video games, so let's get to it. Let's read some feedback from last week's podcast, and then we can proceed, Brad. How does that sound?
Hey, we don't have to. We can take our time now that we're in the podcast. It's only bullshit before the podcast.
Interesting
Yeah.
that you say that. Anyways, of course, guys, we read feedback from every episode at the beginning of the show, so if you have anything after tonight you would like to chime in on, please leave us a comment at 4playernetwork.com, and we'll read it at the start of next week's show. First comment is from Miklopa.
Miklopa.
Thank you, Crispy, for at least being still committed to the bit.
Hey, I am here and engaged.
Oh my God! What did I miss? I'm reading this comment.
You should be on the show more, Brad.
Some great video game discussion this week.
Oh.
I'm personally happy to hear Brad's thoughts on Dusk being positive. You're welcome. Been expecting him to give it a try for some time now, but I'm even happier to hear Nick being interested in playing Overwatch. What the fuck did I miss?
What do you? Oh, you left. I forgot because you missed the second half of the show last week, as you will be for the next couple weeks.
You're not gonna play Overwatch.
I mean, probably not anytime soon. But
I did.
I did express some interest in playing Overwatch. We did end up talking way more about that game last week than I would have ever expected. But you know what? I think that game looks and sounds pretty cool. We even watched one of the movies.
Yeah, we
the
watched
shorts.
the Reinhardt short.
Yeah, it's
it was
pretty
so good, wasn't it?
Honestly,
Pretty good.
after
Nick
that,
is a total Reinhardt.
I went and I started watching a couple other of those shorts because they are pretty good.
You know,
They
it's
right? They are so good.
It's funny because you said I'm a Reinhardt guy. It's like
Man.
the whole thing last week turned into everyone trying to guess what character I'd be. I have no idea who any of these characters
Not
are.
Reinhardt. Reinhardt's a fighting game, pro. Reinhardt.
Reinhardt?
Yeah, Reinhardt.
Reinhardt.
Lion-O?
Anyways,
Hard.
are you going to finish reading the comment or should
HR.
I?
No, I don't
Duty.
really care about Overwatch.
Well, it's
Go
not
ahead.
about Overwatch if you read.
You don't care about Miklopa?
Jesus Christ, Brad.
Anyways. Oh, actually, it is. I guess the rest of it is about Overwatch. He says, don't let the competitive side of it or its huge roster overwhelm you. Just find some characters that you like and start experimenting with their kits. There's plenty of fun to be had once you just relax and stop caring about losing or winning. I'd also suggest you watch some of the animated videos. We did. If you want to get an idea of why it has become such a popular game, despite being a strictly competitive shooter.
Porn.
Porn included, lots of fun to be
I'm
had.
pretty sure it became super popular because one, it's very horny, and two, there's a lot of characters where you don't even really have to aim, so it's like it's very accessible.
That's not true.
Wait,
You're a liar.
That's not true at all.
Oh, I thought there was characters that can just like melee attack and shit.
I'm pretty sure every character can melee attack and shit.
Well, I don't know. I never played it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's just
There
a
are
broad,
couple
overarching
melee
mechanic.
characters.
But you're not like going for headshots with every character. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
I know you know everything about Overwatch, and I know nothing about Overwatch, but you can concede what I'm saying a little bit, right?
Brad, shut up.
But I should absolutely concede that you have a right to wade into this conversation with both barrels.
Oh God, Butters has suddenly become awake. You were sleeping this entire time leading up to the show, and now you're awake and you're sniffing things and
He'll
you're
go
really
back
cute.
to sleep.
Anyways, Haas3000 says, Brad mentioned that we, quote-unquote, should always buy Eurojank games on PC, unquote,
Yes.
versus console. Can Brad clarify why they may be better on PC versus PS4 Xbox?
Because, I mean, listen, these smaller, quirkier European studios that are just making these passion projects full of jank, you know, that this shit is already barely duct taped together on PC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is so much less effort put into these console ports. So when you're translating something that is already jank filled on a monster PC down to a PS4, you're just asking for trouble. And almost in every situation, it's a bad scene.
It's all about poor optimization
Yeah.
and it's a lack of like hands.
Control
Well,
schemes
no,
and
it's
other
more
stuff, too.
about these smaller studios generally have less people who are less familiar with the hardware, and so they just aren't as good at, you know, writing code for it or even just like transporting the code from PC over to it. So yeah, while they manage to get something huddled together, you know, just something going, there's going to be shit tons of bugs and issues and
Gamerbeck has
poor
a really-
optimization. What's up?
Which character does have the best butt?
Ooh, okay.
Widowmaker. See, I never even
How
played
thick
it.
do you like it? How
Pretty
much
thick.
is like the hour?
Like
glass?
2 or
I mean, if
3
you're going
Cs.
just like pure thickness, I would say May. And May's a pretty good character. She's a little tricky, but I think you could. What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Chris Davis over there breathing like a monster. If I closed my eyes, I think something was about to kill me. He's like,
That is true. Anyways, can we get back to the butts,
just
please?
so intense.
Just
Yes, the butts.
showing off how easily he breathes through his nostrils. Fucking
Well,
show off.
allergic to cedar. Where do I live?
There's a lot of quality Overwatch porn out there, Nick.
Jesus Christ.
Go decide for yourself.
Oh, there is.
I mean, it makes me jealous. Just like I'm
But
jealous
Brad,
of all the
how
amazing
many
fan art.
of the women in those porns also have penises?
Oh, most of them.
Oh, most of them, yeah.
Most of them. I
The
would
best
say.
of both worlds.
Is it like
You don't even have to pick. Like,
Just get it.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Moving on. Anyways, Drew327 says, oh wait, he's kind of responding to. I'm gonna skip down to his Radical Heights comment. He was responding to the other question. My issue with Radical Heights is them referring to it as a passion project, quote unquote. Maybe I need to double check that definition, but I think that is when you make a product regardless of whether you think you will make money on it, simply because your creative soul wants to make it. This is about as far from that as you can
Maybe
get.
aspects of it they're passionate about. Maybe they're passionate about the spin to win, the Smash TV style elements of it. But
I don't know. I mean,
He's got a point.
I agree largely with what he's saying, but I would point out that I don't think most video games. I think maybe we're talking about a percent or a fraction of percent of video games are made without any consideration of making money whatsoever. I think something could be a passion
so
project
here's
and
the
still
thing.
be like
Anything that's
well, they
going
didn't
to
say
be
what they're
sold-
passionate about. They could be
anything that's gonna
passionate
be
about making
sold.
money.
No, yeah, it's true.
that
But
is
anything
so
I think
true.
that you're going to sell for money, generally you're kind of in it for the money.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong. Someone who's making a game like
There's a lot of players, you know. Some might not care much about the money, you know.
sure,
Like a Wade, he probably doesn't give a shit.
sure.
like Tetropolis or drawing a huge blank here. Refactor, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm sure Bob and Joseph and Jeff love what they do, but I'm also sure they probably like money. And if that game were to sell and make them some money, I'm
mean,
pretty
at
sure
least-
they would enjoy that.
At least from the standpoint of they need money to keep doing what they
Well,
want
that's
to
true,
do,
yeah.
not because they want to cash in and be super rich, but
Well,
because
I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to go and make a single-player video game and cash in and be rich.
no.
That's not going to happen.
Unless it's something like God of War.
Witcher 3. Just make a Witcher 3.
Gone home.
Just
I mean, they cashed in for a different reason.
make the perfect open world, completely flexible simulation with everything that we want. What's so hard about that?
Yeah. Please everyone at the same time.
That sounds difficult. All right, guys, thank you so much for your questions from last week and your comments. We really appreciate it. Of course, like I said, leave us a comment on tonight's show at 4playernetwork.com, and we'll read it next week.
Nick,
Yes?
Anderson, horrible
Yes.
host.
Me?
Yeah, you didn't ask us about how we've been since the last
Well,
show.
I didn't do that because Brad's over here having
Fuck
an
Brad.
aneurysm.
Before the recording.
You were having an aneurysm before the recording.
He just
But
wants us to be going.
I thought you wanted to be
He
talking
doesn't
about
care about
specific
what we're
things.
talking about. He just wants to make sure people are listening.
Yeah,
Yes.
He has to be listened to.
Correct. No.
Have you never been in a room
Nolan,
with Brad
I
and it's
have agreed
quiet?
with Crispy, not you.
Have you never been in a room with Brad and it's quiet and he's like, "Why is no one listening to me?" Like, he does that quite often. He just has to.
Shouts into the void.
So, Nolan, how have you been
Nick.
since last
Hey, pretty good.
podcast?
You a fan of Harry Potter?
Oh.
Okay, this feels like a trap.
What?
This feels like a trap because hell yes I am.
Oh, okay. I enjoy the Harry Potters. My mother
Oh,
is a
that's
huge
right.
Harry Potter fan.
I saw your tweet.
I enjoy sweeping.
She came into town because the U.S. Quidditch Cup was being held 10 minutes from my house.
Yes.
Damn.
And she was like, "Hey, I'm staying
Property
with
values plummet.
you." So she's like, "I got you a ticket." And I was like, "I guess I'm going." And so we went and watched Quidditch
How did that go?
all weekend.
Oh, weekend.
Weekend.
And so,
You mean more than one game?
yeah, let's talk about this. So a Quidditch match lasts 45 minutes, approximately.
God.
There were 88 teams playing. We didn't watch everything. The Saturday was
Eight, and then an 8? 88?
88 teams. Teams from all around the world.
And they had to get down to one.
Colleges from New York. So technically two. So since there were 88, there was a collegiate group, so all the colleges competing against each other, and community. So anybody who's essentially graduated college and is still playing Quidditch.
I would love to be the fly on the hotel lobbies around this area during the last weekend just to see.
So much Harry Potter fucking.
Does a real world Quidditch team consist of the same number of players as a fictional Quidditch team? So is it like keeper,
Yes.
3 chasers, seeker, 2 beaters?
Yes.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And here's the thing, Nick. Talking about they're all in shape too.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, yeah.
We laugh,
gotta
but you
flap
know.
your
Dude,
arms.
so hold on. Yeah, exactly. No, so what I will say, it's going into this, I was not super excited. But then when we started watching, I was like, God damn, they're fucking intense. Like, it's almost like lacrosse.
Yeah,
to
I
an
was about to
extent.
say it must be something like
Like,
lacrosse,
they're
the way-
running around like fucking crazy. 2 of them are throwing balls at the other ones. And like, here's my thing about Quidditch.
Is there wire work?
No, Brad, shut the
Oh,
fuck
on the
up.
ground.
They're
Stop.
not actually
Stop.
flying, Brad.
Well, that's a reasonable
What about the
question.
No, it's not.
It's
Fuck
a
you.
flying
What about the
sport.
brooms? What's up with the brooms?
So the brooms, that's literally just a PVC pipe. There's no
between their
actual
legs.
broom on it. If they get knocked off their broom or just like fall down or something and it's no longer between their legs,
Man,
they have
how
to
often
run back.
does someone like hit it and it like spins between their legs and like grabs their junk?
It happens.
Ooh.
But
That's dangerous
so here's my thing about Quidditch, and yeah, Slade agreed. Isn't Quidditch like lacrosse? It's similar. I don't think it's ever going to take off and be huge. There are way too many fucking little things going on at once that there's 4 balls on the field at any given time.
Isn't one of the balls of people?
Wait, three balls. Sorry, 3 balls. I'll get to that.
Okay.
There's 3 balls on the pitch at any point in time. The problem is, it's almost like an honor system. Like if someone hits you with a bludger, you're supposed to stop whatever you're doing, go back to your post, touch it, and then come back into the game.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And so there are like 4 refs on the field, like telling people if they do something wrong. But if everyone would plays completely fair, it's actually a pretty fun game. Like watching them play it. Only obviously the keeper and the chasers can touch the quaffle, which is it's like a slightly deflated soccer ball.
A slightly deflated soccer
The
ball.
bludgers are dodgeballs.
Of course.
But dude, like some of the people are like really fucking intense, and it's cool like to see like beaters try and like fake people out. They'll like throw up and then stop and then like wait for them to jump, and as soon as they jump then just fucking nail them. And then people like dodging out of the way of the balls and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And then they have the 3 hoops. They're not worth at different points. I think in the Harry Potter universe they're worth different points. But essentially you get it through the hoop, you get 10 points. After X amount of time has passed, the snitch comes out.
Okay, how do they handle the snitch?
So the easiest way to think of the snitch
it's a person, right?
is like the greased up death guy from Family Guy. You're never gonna catch me. It's pretty much like that. It's a guy who's dressed in yellow, who has a tennis ball in like a sock attached to the back of his shorts. And he just essentially he doesn't necessarily run away because he'd probably get really tired. So it's more like fucking like Greco-Roman like wrestling.
Oh my god.
Where the seekers will come up to him and he'll like fucking wrestle him and throw him to the ground and shit.
That's like out of all the things that you said, that's like the least graceful transition from like film to
But it is the best fucking part is watching the fucking snitch like fucking wrestle people. But the thing is, throughout the weekend, I saw so many different types of snitches. Like huge fucking guys that wrestled them, smaller guys that like dipped and dodged and shit.
That's kinda
like,
cool.
dude, that was the best part is watching how all these different
It's like, what are
snitches-
they gonna have to face this time?
Exactly.
Like,
And so like it also depended on who you were. Like some seekers were
that one's got a gun.
some seekers were like tall and lanky, and so they had an easier time. Some were sneaky. Dude, one of the fucking best matches I saw was so you can swap out players. Like they'll get tired, so they have headbands. Essentially, the headband color is what position you are.
Yeah.
It makes it really easy to tell who's who. So one of the seekers like ended up switching out, and this new seeker comes in, fucking bolting at the snitch, gets like slides on his knees and goes past him and grabs the fucking snitch, and it was fucking amazing.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, it was fucking great.
Carlos says one of the snitches is completely naked.
And greased up.
And greased.
Yeah.
88 teams?
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I didn't watch
That
them
sounds
all.
like fun. I don't know if I could have made it through
This
88.
is just
though.
some like high profile LARPing, right? Basically.
But it's a
Dude,
sport.
say that to someone who plays it.
But like the LARP, some people take the LARPing really seriously.
Some
like
do.
the more athletic.
It is yes, it is more athletic
Do you
LARPing,
think there's
I guess.
anybody in all of those teams who's like really just in it for the game? Like they don't really even give a shit about Harry Potter.
So
that much?
hold on. So to end up Pokop's thing. So unlike in the book's 150 points for
Yeah,
the
you
snitch.
win the match,
That's
you grab the snitch.
No, you don't win. You don't win. You get 150.
points.
So
I mean, but
in-
theoretically.
Which effectively means you
hold on.
usually win.
Hold
Yeah.
on. So in this Quidditch, you only get 30. It's not worth the. So
that whole
it becomes
World Cup would have gone a lot
So
faster.
here's what happens. What happens is the other seeker helps the snitch. They like defend them as the other, like, you know what I'm saying? So the seeker of the team who's losing, if they were to grab it, they would lose still. They defend the snitch. But the snitch is like controlled, not even controlled, just like fucking chaos. He doesn't care. He wants no one to win. So the other seeker who's helping him, he'll sometimes pull their broomstick out from under them.
Wow.
So they have to run back. And like, dude, some of that stuff was fucking amazing. And I just remember one time watching this one snitch, and he was fucking with the other guy. He kept pulling up his broomstick like into the guy's junk, and the fucking seeker was getting pissed. He was like, "Dude, fucking stop!"
Does it look silly them people
Yes.
running with the broom?
Does.
I bet
yeah.
it does.
I feel like we could accomplish so much by just watching some footage.
he
of
did
this.
tweet a video of it.
I
Was it a video or a
tweeted.
picture?
No, I think
Are you-
just a picture.
Y'all are
But
all Harry Potter book readers.
yeah, I've
and
read all the
movie-
books.
and
do,
movie
do they
watchers.
like? Well, yeah.
Both.
But what I'm saying is, as someone who watched most of the Harry Potter movies, I didn't really get a lot from the scenes.
Quidditch wasn't a big
That's
deal in the
'cause they-
movies
okay,
compared to the
They
book.
didn't have a lot of
Because I
time.
have no
to-
idea what you're talking about.
It's a rather complicated sport to like try and
So I remember the
explain in a
switch. That's
snitch?
Snitch.
The snitch.
Yes.
That's the flying ball.
Yeah, the little.
Yes.
That's
supposed to
all
be-
I
so-
remember.
Because that was Harry's job.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Catching the
So
sun.
Yeah.
I will say that if anyone is curious, the U.S. Quidditch's YouTube channel, they record every single match.
Wow.
So you can go on their YouTube channel and watch any of the matches. Like you
And
can
I'm gonna
watch,
guess that YouTube channel is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, you can watch the final that we were at because it was University of Rochester versus University of Texas,
Oh my god.
and UT lost.
Are they-
And
are they
we
just-
were
are they
still just the Longhorns?
I was about to ask you, when are you going to sign
The-
up? But I
Brad,
guess it's like
I
a
think
real-
it's. I think
thing.
it's funny. You're like, oh, it's like real schools. Brad, you took Elvish in college.
Yeah.
That was a linguistics class. I mean,
This is a
that-
sport.
Elvish
This
is a real
this is a
language.
sport.
But it's like the
Brad.
same content. It's just a different part of the universe being translated.
Okay, Brad,
into
define
an
a real
actual-
sport.
Remember how the way
It's
the way
been on TV at some point.
the way
I'm
people
pretty sure
react
they've showed it on
when
TV
you
at
said
some point.
88
Hey, so-
matches of Quidditch.
StarCraft is a real sport.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sure, an e-sport.
But no, so
And I think Overwatch now, too.
So if this is the 11th U.S. Cup. It's been going on for a long time, 11 years. There is a World Cup as well. It's not like don't get me wrong. Like I'm not gonna go out and start
There's
watching it on the
hooligans,
regular.
like, beating people up in the streets.
Yeah.
Because
Probably. I saw some. Like people got pretty like people getting like mad when they would lose and so. But you were saying in one of the games that I was watching, it was UT versus I can't remember. I think Virginia. The score was 100-0.
What?
When the snitch came out, Virginia was trying to get it because they wanted to end the match with the best possible score. And they knew they weren't going to get too many more. So if 30-100 is a lot better than 130-0.
Did they get it?
They did. Yes.
Nice.
I saw multiple teams trying, like, suicide is what they refer to it as.
Yeah.
And some of the teams, when they did suicide, would like throw the snitch at their teammates, and they would act like it was an explosion.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, look into it if you're interested. It's not something I'm going to go out and seek out on the regular.
Seek out.
There you go. The only reason I went was because it was here in Austin. Next year,
And
I
your
don't.
mother
It's
got you a
some
ticket.
it's some other state. I'm not going to go to it. If they have it in Austin again, yeah, I'll go. It was fun.
When are they going to
They
make real
have
world
roadies.
rules for quad pot?
I don't know. It's a good question.
All right.
all right.
Are we ready to talk about video games?
Yeah.
Brad,
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go first this week because you look like you're really itching to talk about something.
Well, not really. It's not like my game is like huge. It's a couple months old even.
Well,
But I'll go.
talk about it
Hey.
anyways.
Hey.
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 So I've been playing some Iconoclasts. Yeah. This came out late January, I believe, but there's a lot of games coming out around that time, so it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
There were.
A little bit, but this is a pretty cool one. It is a Metroidvania
Of course.
of sorts. Not that that's all I ever play, but
Only the good ones.
this
It's a
one,
safe bet.
This one has been in development for a very long time, and I remember seeing footage of it like fucking 7 years ago, and thinking I really wanted to play that.
Yep.
And
I feel like this is a game that I've heard of a lot and I've seen it before, but I couldn't quite place it when you said it.
so it is a Metroidvania with, I would say, a much heavier like narrative element to it. Like the
narrative
story is definitely something that the game cares a lot about.
So yeah, when did Scarecrow brings a good point? When did Chasm get like a UI update?
No,
Looks exactly like it.
no. Chasm looks a lot more like kind of rudimentary, like a little more Spartan than I think. This has like some really beautiful like animations and stuff. It's probably hard for us to tell on the screen, but this is a very nice looking game. A lot of really nice pixel art. I think the guy who made this game, which I think it's just one dude, he's most known for this game called Noito Love. I don't know how to say it. Noito Love 2, which is kind of this run and gun shooter with like really
got
amazing
nothing.
animations. Probably like fucking 10 years old at this point, but so this is a really cool game. It's gonna be a little weird talking about it because this is not the main character. So normally I would kind of talk a little bit about the main mechanics of the game, but it's not what you're seeing right now. There's a lot of characters in this game, and not necessarily to play as, but like I said, this is a very story-driven game. I feel like, and there's a lot of players in that story and a lot of characters, and you'll have characters join your party, not so you play as them, but they're with you for like story purposes. So when you get to like a story scene, they kind of like pop out almost like a RPG style, and you have like a scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are times in the game where you do kind of play as these characters, and they all have like very different mechanics and stuff. And this is one of them who has like a shotgun that she can aim, or she can like.
So are
swing
you
it.
normally playing as one character and then like 30% of the game you're playing as...
Yeah, something like that. But I would say maybe even less. Although I don't know. I mean, I have not finished this game or anything. The
Probably because you suck.
so I'm playing on hard mode.
Oh, okay.
There was a normal and a hard mode, and I chose hard because I feel like
People are crazy.
I feel like games have been a little too easy lately. I didn't want this to be kind of an Owlboy scenario, which Owlboy was another nice pixel art Metroidvania, but at the end of the day, it was just way too easy to the point where it just seemed kind of frivolous.
Did you ever finish that game?
I did, and it was fine, but it was only ever just fine because it was so inoffensive. in all aspects of gameplay.
I was really enjoying it, but that's probably because it was really easy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying. I just think certain types of games should be difficult, and I definitely think this genre should have difficult games. It does have a little bit of progression, but I would say that's one of the weaker elements for me so far is that the upgrades that you do are very slight. You get stuff like you can breathe underwater longer, or you can spin your wrench longer, which I still haven't talked about the main character. Or you run a little faster, you do a little bit more damage, whatever. And all the secrets you find in the game are related to the materials to kind of craft these upgrades or whatever. So that sort of carrot on the into the stick, if you will, isn't super enticing. But it is a fun game to explore because there's a lot of like really satisfying like puzzle design.
Yeah.
In the game, like a heavy amount of puzzles and like kind of puzzle platforming, if you will, where you're kind of solving puzzles as you're kind of platforming through the environment, and it can be really tricky, and I find that really satisfying. But you're about to see the main character. She's a like an engineer of sorts. She uses a big wrench and as one of her mechanics. So she has she has a couple of gun types, and she has this big wrench that she can use to kind of fix things in the environment, basically trigger stuff in puzzles, but also she can deflect things by spinning her wrench in front of her. She can like zip along these zip lines using a wrench, and you'll see me doing it a lot in the footage, but she can kind of I have this ability to kind of I have this like electric wrench where if she spins it around, she can kind of charge it up and electrify it. And I'm in a point in the world, this area that I'm in, where you're triggering a lot of these kind of electric nodes using your electric wrench to like kind of move platforms and stuff. And again, it's all very puzzly, platformy heavy, and it's pretty satisfying.
What's the soundtrack like? This game looks like one of those
really
games
good.
that has naturally has like a really good soundtrack.
You see a game with nice pixel art, and you're like, that probably has a good soundtrack, and you know what, it does. I like it a lot. But I said this story's like a large aspect of this game, and almost surprisingly so. Like they make a lot of effort to really flesh out characters and kind of give them personalities, distinct personalities, stuff like it's the kind of stuff you don't really see in this genre much.
Sure.
It's almost like they're almost going through like RPG or adventure game links to really like offer these fully developed characterizations.
Are you playing this on
in the
PC?
Yeah. The story itself is like it's kind of
Is
trippy.
this on Steam?
Yeah.
I mean, is it on Switch?
That's
what I want to know.
No, I don't think it's on Switch yet.
Damn
but, I say yet because everything gets ported to Switch.
Yeah.
That's kind of its MO at this point. But it's like the story is kind of crazy. There's it's called Iconoclasts. There's a bunch of bad dudes that are kind of using religion to kind of subjugate people and control them.
You don't say.
And I can't even get into the story because it goes to all kinds of like weird, crazy places. And if you want to play a surprisingly well put together Metroidvania with like pretty satisfying mechanics, with a lot of puzzles and stuff, but with a narrative that is like really kind of
I feel like
surprising.
At this point,
like I can't say too much about it because it definitely has like big ambitions, and I don't know where it's going to go with those yet. And I can kind of see it maybe not accomplishing everything it wants to, but at the very least, there's been some like really interesting and well-developed characters so far. So I am excited to do see where that story goes.
Sweet. I feel like at this point, it would be more surprising if a Metroidvania was not interesting and well put together. I feel like almost every.
Well.
I mean, it's a pretty crowded genre, I suppose, and we talk about probably only a fraction of them, I suppose, but.
It's a little unfair.
There's been
too,
so many really good 2D Metroidvanias.
Yep.
This has been in development for so long, right? That if this had come out, 7 years ago or whatever, a lot more people would be talking about it. And now, you barely even see people talking about Hollow Knight. I mean, obviously on this podcast that's a little different, but
I mean, we do tend to talk.
I'm
about
still
good
pretty
games.
shocked. I'm still pretty shocked about the whole Hollow Knight not being super popular thing.
Yeah.
The game's fucking
very
incredible.
weird. Or we're like Games Press, especially.
By the way, guys, I don't know. This is kind of side topic for a second, but so remember I had
Did you get that resolved?
I got my PC fixed in that I had to reinstall Windows, and when I go to, I had to reinstall everything, including Steam, and I was like fucking terrified that my Hollow Knight save was gone. I boot up Steam, I go to Hollow Knight, there's a continue option. I hit continue. There's my game.
Oh.
It loads me up. I'm like, oh shit.
Praise
so I
the
was
cloud.
like, now I'm gonna go find the save file itself and put it in Dropbox so I can like back it up just in case something happens again. Can't find it anywhere. There's even like a thing. There's even like a butters. Yeah. There's even like a thing that on the Steam forums that was like, it's saved in this. This is the file path, and I went to it. Folder doesn't exist on my PC. I have no idea where my save file actually is, so I can't back it up, and I'm terrified. Somebody help me.
But
I don't want to lose 36 hours of Hollow Knight, because if that happens, I will never finish that game.
But it is in the cloud.
I don't know. I don't know where the save file is coming from.
Next time I come over, maybe this weekend, we'll take a look at it. Did you bring my hard drive?
Fuck!
You son of a bitch.
I know for a fact that
I can give it to you on this week.
I know for a fact that Hollow Knight does have cloud saves because I built my PC after I had started that game, and I continued after I built the PC.
Good.
I would definitely recommend making sure you have it.
Oh, how to
enabled.
tell if it has cloud saves?
No, I mean, I don't know how to tell where the save file is actually pulling from. I'm assuming it's in the cloud.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
if you
it's in
look
the
in your
cloud,
library, there's a little cloud icon.
But Brad, even if it's in the cloud, it'll still save a local copy.
Yeah,
Sure, but who cares?
I mean,
Nick?
I do. I want to. I don't. I thought Brad, it's Hollow Knight we're talking about here. If I lose that save file,
He's never
I'm
gonna start
never
that game
playing
again.
this game again.
Sure. So why not like log on to Nolan's PC and then load up the game and see if it has your save on the cloud?
That's actually a good idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
A really good idea, Brad.
Which
Thanks.
it should.
I'm glad I
don't
brought
see
this
what
up. That's a good idea. All right, I have a game. Can I talk about a game?
What you got?
What's up?
So God
As
of War.
long as it's new.
Damn it!
Well, no, I think he said God of War. I guess he got a review code or something.
I did
okay.
totally not get
You
a
been playing
God of
that
War.
new God of War?
No, I have
Hey,
not
wait,
been playing the new
That's
God of
not
War.
a full beard. That's a nasty
That's
little
his-
goatee thing.
I know.
That's
It's like
Kratos.
it's a shitty beard. All right, so God of War comes out tomorrow. By the way, I'll be streaming that game tomorrow. First 4 hours or so of the game, starting at noon.
And I'll be streaming the first 4 hours later in the day.
So if you miss it with me, watch it with Nolan. But there'll be plenty of God of War on the stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'm immediately going to stream the last 4 hours right after the
And then y'all can fill in the blanks in the middle. Anyways, so I'm getting very excited for God of War, right? Haven't played a God of War game since I had a PSP, actually, which I don't even remember when that was. I was working at GameStop the last time I played a God of War game. It's been a while. And obviously, this new God of War is getting rave reviews.
Yeah.
This is so lame.
What?
What? God
What's
of War's
lame?
good?
You tell me what.
Your
you
God
tell
of
me that I'm
War,
lame?
your old God of War game choice is so lame because all that means is you're gonna suck new God of War's dick even harder because Ascension sucks dick.
Brad, oh my God, way to take the wind
Oh,
out of
did
my
you not
sails.
say Ascension?
No.
Well, no, I
Brad,
hadn't. But also,
listen to
like, why?
words.
You've clearly already made up your mind. Why should I even tell you about
No,
it?
I don't know. I don't even know if it sucks or not.
God
but-
damn it,
a little
Brad.
homophobic.
Go ahead.
According to you, it sucks dick.
Well, it's
What's
definitely
wrong with sucking dick,
It's definitely
Brad?
the redheaded stepchild. People don't talk. No one ever says my favorite God of War is Ascension.
No, nobody ever has said that, nor will they. But it is also.
You know what?
You like Terminator 3.
It also. What is that? First of all, what does that even? I also kind of don't like the Terminator franchise in general. What does that
that's
also
fair.
have anything to do with God of War?
You're
You're killing me, man.
But you see what I'm saying.
I picked God of War Ascension because it's the only God of War game I've never played.
I've never played it either.
And I would rather play a game that I've never seen before than replay something
No,
I've already
I
played.
completely get that.
So now that we've gotten through that.
But you know what I'm saying. Like it might taint your memory of old.
Well, no,
God of
here's the
War.
thing. Playing this, regardless of how this stacks up in relation to other God of War games, I think there is one thing that is... This game is very much a God of War game. Like, it feels and plays like God of War, and it's reminding me, and it's telling me... I'm kind of learning or reminding myself a lot about what God of War was,
And how it's not
also
gonna be that
how I
anymore.
kind of feel about it now.
Yeah.
Which kind of... I'm getting very excited to play the new God of War, but holy shit. Like... I don't know how I feel about old God of War at this
No,
point.
but you see where I'm coming from, right? It's like, well, this new DMC comes out. Let's do a refresher of the old Devil May Cry, and
you
then
play
you
two.
pop into.
Sure, that is sure. But if I had never played Devil May Cry 2, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have gone back and played the one that I never played.
Hey,
But
it's got that league.
the thing is, like, they're all very much the same. like as far from a mechanical standpoint, they play and feel very the
Correct.
same.
They do play the same.
And this game is kind of showing me and reminding me that I love God of War back in the day, but almost exclusively because of the cinematic nature of it, like the set piece moments of it are incredible. Like just the environments are beautiful and like really cool to see unfold, and like they had these like really epic moments and stuff. But like, man, I do not like the way combat feels in God of War. It is like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Western.
no, no, I wasn't going for Western. It does not feel responsive.
Yeah.
I'm button mashing because I feel like only half my inputs are doing anything, right? And like I feel like I'm getting hit a lot because the dodge is not very sensitive. Like in Bayonetta or something,
definitely
like
not a Dark
you
Souls
dodge,
dodge.
like you instantly dodge. It's like Slade in chat picks a good word. It's clunky. The whole thing feels very clunky. But like for whatever reason, God of War has like this super mainstream appeal back in the day, and everybody loves it.
I think it was just because it was pretty over the top.
It is
when
really
it
over the
came
top,
out.
and like those moments where you do like have these really brutal, kill animations, and like when you are actually kind of getting into a rhythm, and like that stuff feels really good. But man, I am really, really, really excited to see what they've done in the new God of War to like get away from this.
Terrible.
Dude, this fight, I've recorded 24 minutes of footage for this game, knowing that I'm not going to talk about it that long, and like 10 minutes of it is probably this one.
You gotta understand, like, there was a dip in quality after 2. Like, 3 was not as good as 1 or 2. And by the time, and then they did 2 PSP games, and then this one came out. Like it was tired, and they kind of lost their way as well.
Sure, I do think. While I would agree, I think God of War 2 is the pinnacle of the franchise. I think 3 was still on a tier that was still of the same tier, even if it was maybe not the best in the trilogy, the original trilogy.
Sure. Are there like puzzles in this game and stuff?
Yes, there are puzzles.
Okay.
It's actually
a God of War game.
It's done some pretty cool things. Like there's one of the things that in this one, I don't know if we'll get to it in the footage, but you're in this like temple, and there's all this like there's these weird pipes everywhere that's like leaking this like fumes, and when you touch the fumes, it makes everything in the environment that's touching the fumes, it ages really quickly, and it shows you like everything like rots away and falls apart, and then like after a certain amount of time, everything kind of reverses and goes back. It's kind of like when you touch the fumes, everything kind of goes forward in time, and then you come back. And
Like
so you're
Singularity.
Yeah, a little bit, but Singularity I think did it maybe a little bit better. I don't know. Well, that's a whole nother topic. Don't bring that up.
Sorry.
So it does some cool stuff like that, but the one like, oh man, so he killed like all the gods, right? That's not a spoiler. He killed like all the gods in God of War 1, 2, and 3, and maybe it was like this in the 2 PSP games, but holy shit, they are really reaching to find gods or.
Wait,
or
you don't like fight Jesus?
No, this is still Greek mythology.
They don't have the balls to fight Jesus.
But like they really reach into like deep to find some like real C tier Greek mythology.
Like who?
I don't, dude.
Name one.
The only one that I can remember is one I've actually heard of.
Medusa's cousin.
Oh God.
Sedusa.
No, I don't even know. Someone in chat probably knows. It was
Mercury.
Fuck, I don't even remember it. I've lost it.
I think you've made your point.
Yes, it's not like none of them are recognizable. Okay, so here's the thing where
cool
everything kind of
effect.
ages. It's a cool effect, and they do some pretty interesting stuff with it puzzle wise.
I might say I would kind of miss Kratos being so like casually godlike.
yeah.
Like the way he pulled out that giant staircase. He's probably not going to do something that
Probably
effortlessly in the new one, right?
Probably not,
Yeah.
but like
So
I don't know. Well,
there's something to love.
I'm
about
also
these.
like really kind of maybe I probably would have been better served going back and playing God of War 1 and 2 maybe before this, cause
Yes,
but
like especially 2 because that was another Cory Barlog.
yeah,
game.
for sure. But so I it's been a long time since I played those games, but like I can't imagine like it's reminding me just how like one-dimensional and like not interesting or Kratos is as a character,
Yes, right?
which
No,
makes
He's kind of just like a huge piece of shit.
he
Oh,
is
no,
a
he
huge
definitely
piece
is
of
a
shit.
Absolutely,
piece
no
of
one
shit.
will ever defend Kratos.
So,
especially
like,
after 3.
that's like the biggest fear I have about going into this new game. It's
But,
like,
like-
how do you make a character like that at all
Well, the thing is,
hey.
that's
sympathetic?
one
You
thing
ever
I
wanted
kid?
Zelda with a good story?
just forget?
Or have you ever
just
wanted?
forget that he was this?
No,
That's why they called this God of War.
So I've
The
actually
God
answer
of
to your
War, like
questions
8.
and more.
I've actually read a few reviews for the new one so far, and a lot of them have touched on the fact that like that kind of plays a lot into what makes the story of the new game really interesting, and it also how like his son perceives him, not knowing that his father's actually a huge piece of shit, like you said, but like the audience knows or the players know that he's formerly a huge piece of shit. So
It's Poseidon's gardener.
He's like,
that's kind of how it feels, man. And it's kind of how it fucking feels. Like, you don't recognize the names of any of these fucking characters. And the only reason that one dude whose name I can't remember the only reason I remember is because
Clearly not.
the only reason I remember remembering it is because there's a band whose name is that character. And I was like, oh, but I don't listen to the band very much because the band's not that great.
Obviously, I mean,
So
they're named after...
twofold, I can't remember it. I don't fucking know.
They
So-
probably thought they were making such a dope, deep cut in the Greek mythology, you know, by picking some shit no one's ever heard
God.
of. And here we are making fun of it.
Well, the thing is that people in chat are saying, but Kratos is C tier. But like that's kind of that is kind of the point. Like
Dionysus?
no, it's not Dionysus.
C tier. I'm pretty sure he's
Eros.
made up.
No, he's not. No, Kratos is not. I don't think he's a made-up character. I don't think so. I could be wrong about that. But
Kratos is or is not a man.
He does a lot
no,
of
I
the
mean like
Hercules
he's an
things
actual
in
like
these
character
games.
in Greek mythology.
Maybe.
Pretty sure it's a
Somebody-
Jaffe creation, but that maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat,
That definitely rings more true.
maybe I
Pretty
don't
sure
fucking
Jaffe
know.
pinned the shitty goatee on him himself.
Yeah. He should have an awesome tribal tattoo and a goatee.
Anyways, I don't want to spend too much time. This game does a couple different things, like let you pick up like you'll like hit weapons out of enemies' hands and you can pick them up and use them in combat. So you can like pick up shields and spears and shit, which is you know whatever. It's kind of cool.
How's the weapon switching?
So like the weapon switching is really just changing like elemental attacks on your stupid chains that he's been using for
What?
like 6 games straight.
See, that was one of the cool things about 2 was that you could get different weapons and you upgrade them and you'd switch back and forth.
I'm only like
between-
halfway through this game, so
Okay.
I can't imagine I'm gonna be using the same weapons for the rest of
I'm
the
gonna
game.
say this.
I've unlocked
You're
four elemental versions of the chains, and I'm only halfway through the game, and that's one for each D-pad.
You could talk shit about the Blades of Chaos now, but you know everyone's gonna be creaming their pants
When they
in
show
that
up in the new
inevitable
one.
moment in
Yeah.
New God of War when he gets his Blades of Chaos.
Sure, but you know what? I'm super excited for the new God of War. His axe, because it does the
Yeah.
fucking Thor thing where you can
Mjolnir?
hold a button and
Yeah.
it comes back to his hands,
Yeah.
and you can use that strategically in combat. Like that sounds fucking awesome.
Oh, you know, it'd be perfect if at the end of this new God of War, you know, and the final fight, he gets his Blades of Chaos, and then like 2 more games and he never uses them.
Oh, thank you.
That's new Tomb Raider.
Thank you, SMG. Aegean was the character I was trying to think of. Thank you, SMG.
I'm referring to new Tomb Raider where she gets her dual pistols at the end of the first one.
And then never uses them
and
again.
never uses back to bow and arrows.
Uh,
Whatever.
anyways, so yeah, that's. Oh, one last thing I want to say. This game has a really bad habit. Because I guess everything's kind of smaller in scale or scope. I guess maybe because of the fact that it's maybe like a C tier God of War. It wasn't like it didn't have probably have the biggest budget.
Budget.
But
It
like
wasn't
man,
a set piece
they
beyond
throw
that.
you into so many rooms in this game, and the only way to like get out of the room is to like
Kill
you get a
all
new
the
weapon.
enemies.
It gives you a new elemental attack, and you have to build your rage meter and then do this like crazy attack, right? So you have to build the meter successfully till it's completed, and then use the ability to clear the room and then leave, right?
I remember
But
that was
but
one
the
of
rooms
new
are so
things.
small, and every time you actually get hit, you lose stuff out of the meter. So it took me like 20 minutes to get out of one room because it's just like endless waves of dudes until I can successfully build the meter and
kinda
use
cool.
it. And everything's clunky and shit.
That was a new mechanic in this
Oh,
one, I
where you
think,
can like
right?
grab them with the chain
Yeah,
and like swing
it's
them around.
clever. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean like it's not
He's really in
bad.
bondage this time.
Yeah.
The game is not bad. I would say this game is inoffensive. It has some cool moments. Like it has some really epic shit. Like at the very beginning, it's like they're pulling C
Doesn't
tier.
this one start with you like climbing? Wait, which one is where you
3.
fight the Colossus of Rhodes?
That sounds
Was
like
that
2 or
two?
3.
Sounds right.
This is not that one. That
I
one
was
is really good.
I was getting this and the second Castlevania, the
Lords of Shadow.
Lords of Shadow
Oh
confused.
god.
Oh my god.
I'd take this over Lords of Shadow.
You had to say George. What's the shout? Anyways,
Maybe we'll talk about.
so yeah, we'll
Castlevania.
talk about God of War, like the proper like new
Next
one that we're
week,
really
probably.
excited to play next week.
This shit is not real. On the banner, the fucking that's Radical Heights.
That is
Is
Radical.
that real art from that game?
That's what that game looks like.
That's in game.
No.
It looks like Reboot.
That's a little more detailed than
But
the
see,
game.
that's what makes it worse. The fact that that's not in game, and that is a choice that they've made to promote their game. That looks bad.
It looks nice in the overlay.
It's mostly honest.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will. Anyways,
after you're gone.
hey Nolan,
What up, Nick?
how's Assassin's Creed been treating you?
It's pretty good. It's the only game I've played since the last show, mainly because I was watching people on brooms all weekend. But
PVC pipes.
what?
Let's be real.
What?
PVC pipes.
PVC pipes, yeah. So yeah, Assassin's Creed. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying the story. I finally met his wife,
Yeah.
Aya. Pretty good story. I'm interested to see where that goes.
Her their relationship kind of plays a pretty big role in the game, and it was one of my favorite aspects of the story. I think ultimately
they seem to bang a lot.
they do.
Nice.
They really do. Yes.
Well, this was the days before Jesus.
That is true.
No judgment.
No, none at all. No one could judge you. So one of the things that's kind of been frustrating me is that there's all these like timed events that go on in this world.
Oh, you mean like
the god
networks?
things or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, you have 7 days to do this mission.
You won't be able to fight any of those until you've.
But that's
like,
the
max
problem,
level.
is I can't like do any of it.
Well, they repeat. I know it kind of sucks.
I still wish there were maybe like lower level ones that you could like
yeah, I couldn't
like
even
interact with or something.
I
Because
couldn't
it's-
even entertain the idea of doing one until I'd already finished the game.
Well, yeah, like I was in chat the other day and some guy was like, "Oh, have you done any of those?" And I was like, "Dude, like I got to be level like 40 and I'm level 16." He's like, "Oh, you should just do them. They're cool." I'm like, well, yeah, I would love to, but no.
You can do them. They're cool. You will die.
Yeah, so that's the thing is compared to other Assassin's Creed games, more so in this because it is open world, you can easily run into enemies that are like kind of a little
Have
too
you
high
done
level.
any of the what are they called? Like they're shit. Someone in chat remind me like these like bounty hunters that like.
Oh yeah.
comb the lands.
I've come across one, but I didn't kill him.
Those are pretty cool, and actually, you can take those guys on even if they're way stronger than you.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be real careful.
You gotta be careful about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still enjoying this. Every side quest I think has some sort of element to it that's still fun compared to just like the main quest from some other games I've been playing recently. These cool moves right here where you can do like the ultimate finishers or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are pretty sweet too. I like that every weapon kind
That
of.
wasn't an ultimate finish.
Well, so that's the thing is that guy's a higher level than me.
Yeah, every enemy in the game it has a level. So,
Yeah.
It was an ultimate continuer.
Yeah.
Normally, if that dude was weaker, that would have been an ultimate.
If that guy was like at the same level as me or whatever, it had a little less health, I would have just instantly killed him, like
Yeah.
chop off their heads and shit. But because like I was saying, like every enemy, like I has a level. They have a health bar. They have whatever. So there are damage numbers, as you saw. Like I only do so much damage. Unlike the original Assassin's Creed, the hidden blade isn't not an insta kill in this game. If you try to assassinate someone
Everything's
who's
level
Boo!
based.
yeah. If you like, there was one time where like I kind of broke into somewhere that everyone was way too high level, like to the point where they have the skull. Doesn't even tell you their level. It's just like if you fight this guy, you're probably gonna
Skull's
die.
meant to tell you you've made a mistake.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh, I'll assassinate him from above, and like I see the thing, and it shows the icon to assassinate, and it shows it'll take away like maybe like a tenth of his health bar.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I probably shouldn't do that.
But if you really wanted to, could you get it done?
Maybe.
And are you rewarded
Could you
for
Dark
that?
Souls?
No, yeah.
I mean,
think
you don't
you'd be
get
rewarded
better
enough.
rewards for it, but
Yeah.
theoretically you can.
I mean, it's
That's
to
a
me.
problem in The Witcher 3.
Oh yeah, so that's what I was saying. That's I liken it to The Witcher 3, where it's like combat's almost I won't say irrelevant, but that's not the main thing. Like you don't go around fighting dudes to gain experience. While you do get experience for fighting dudes, that's not like the main thing. You'll get like 10 experience for killing a dude, an extra 5 if it's like a assassination.
Yeah, like,
whereas
but
when you finish
everything
a
in the-
mission, you'll get like 1,000.
But everything in the world gives you experience. Like,
Correct.
It's
Unlike Witcher 3, everything you do get some experience.
it's like exploring the world and finding new locations and finding secrets and stuff gives you experience at levels of your character.
But yeah, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I think they've just there are so many little details in this game. I think they just fucking nailed. There's these little things. I didn't it took me forever to realize you can upgrade your weapons.
Yeah.
Like level them up. to make them better, but it costs money, and obviously there are different tiered weapons. Like there's like
cool shit to find underwater.
So there are some. I've come across a couple of underwater like ruins.
There are some things underwater.
Yeah.
Like you can find like entire. There's some areas you can actually find underwater where you can swim down, and if you if you can hold your breath long enough, you can go all the way in and then come up into like an underwater. Like
That's it. That's what
Dude,
I
Brad,
want.
it's fucking good, but you gotta be careful because there could be a crocodile.
Yeah, or a hippo.
Or a hippo, and they're dangerous. But yeah, I like. I don't have too many complaints about this game. I don't like the chariot racing.
Oh yeah, I don't think I
Why
ever
would you?
did the chariot racing.
Right.
Ben Hur didn't like chariot racing.
I played 60 hours of the game. I don't think I ever touched the chariot racing.
Yeah.
I had no. I was like, I know. I
did
I
it
saw it. And I was
once.
like, I don't think I'm gonna like that.
I did it once, and then I haven't done it since.
But you know what I will recommend when you get to it? The Gladiator Arena. That's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
But yeah, like I said, I've been enjoying this. Chris Davis had mentioned in chat earlier that I'm wearing like a towel because there are outfits in this game. You can kind of dress up however you want. At this point in the game, I can
It's
actually
casual Friday.
yeah, I can change his hair style.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I don't know, whatever. I'm
is
enjoying the shit out of it. I hate it just because I can just sit down for like 10 minutes real quick, and all of a sudden 3 hours have gone by.
It's definitely one of those games.
I really hate you for convincing me to want to play this game.
Yeah,
He
sorry.
convinced you? I didn't?
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, son of a bitch.
But
Ever
yeah,
since remember he sold me on Black Flag that one time, and I just got up out of the podcast to go download it or whatever.
I do remember that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing this. Probably take a break from it starting tomorrow since God of War comes out.
I was gonna say I'm
Ow.
jealous that you can change outfits like that because the Yakuza series has always had unlockable
Yeah.
outfits, but you can never wear them until you've beaten the game.
Yeah,
once.
that sucks.
It's like who replays the Yakuza game besides
Yeah.
Jack? I don't
Such a
know.
waste.
Called out.
Speaking of Yakuza
6.
well, yeah,
More like Yakuza 6.
yeah. So I got
Or Yakuza sucks.
So yesterday,
Oh,
last
shit.
week I talked about Yakuza 6, but I had only played basically what was in the demo.
Yeah.
But now that I have the full version,
I've played 120
that
hours.
save just carries over.
That
Well,
is, I really like that. I really have to give it to Sega.
Sega.
Yeah,
Sonic.
I lost it for a second. Yeah, thank you.
Gotta give it to
Gotta
Sonic.
give it to Sonic.
Sega.
That I haven't seen too many games do that before, or even I don't know ever. Like I'm sure it's probably happened.
It feels like a model that would make a lot of sense
But
these
I don't
days.
understand it. You know, back in the day we had demo disc, whatever. Demos almost went the way of the dodo for a while. They almost didn't exist for fucking years, and all of a sudden now they've
They
started
kinda
coming
still
back.
barely
You
exist.
do know that like it didn't really work out for Sega.
No. Thank you. I understand in this scenario they made a big boo boo, but what I will say is I'm really impressed with the fact that they're doing this, and I hope other developers see that as a chance to, hey, you know what? You can play the first,
I feel
5
like that's
hours
like
of our
a-
game, and if you then buy it, you can just keep going.
Well,
This
cool,
sounds
it's cool,
like
so-
early access to me.
Click it, Chris
yes
Davis.
and no. It's more like free access to a little bit of the game.
This sounds like
Okay,
access to a
okay.
game early ahead of its.
So last week I had told you. So the cool thing about the demo is that the world was unlocked, but they just locked you out of certain things, right?
Sure.
So I couldn't talk about the online chatting.
Oh.
But now you
But
can.
now I can
And he's got footage.
because it's all like available. And so this mini game, while it does go on,
That top
girl
does
on
not
the
look
right
like
looks
it's-
surprised.
That top does not look like it's big enough to contain.
it goes on way
It's
too
barely struggling.
This-
It's like
This mini
What a
game
horrible
goes
mistake she's made.
on way too long.
Does it have in-game microtransactions?
Well, you just spend money.
No, it
More
just
like real
connects
money or
you to,
in-game
like,
money?
actual cam girls.
Yeah.
In-game money. But you get in-game money
All
for
right.
just beating people up.
Brad, we're
Look
watching.
at it. It's so good. Oh, she takes her clothes off too. Not you don't see, boobs. I mean, you don't see nips or anything. But like
everything but.
and this goes on way too long. You're chatting a bunch with her before she finally takes her shirt off.
Of course.
Nipless boobs.
But
Wait, is it?
This
do you have any
shit-
say in what you're actually telling her?
no. It's just a mini game, right? But the shit that Kiryu types into that chat, and if you read chat, it's fucking the funniest shit.
Is
I mean,
that chat right there in English? It's kind of small. I can't
yeah,
see
it's
it.
in English.
Okay,
For
I
sure,
just can't see
for
it because
sure.
it's small.
I'm gonna die.
I can't.
Masochist llama?
I cannot wait. Like I can't imagine. Like I bet someone like thought they had the best job in the world. Like it was their job to translate that and like.
Oh, it's so funny
To localize
See,
that.
So what is so good about Yakuza these days is I don't know what it is, but the last few Yakuza games, I think I don't know what it is. Maybe it was when they bought Atlas or whatever, and they're using like a new localization team. But the localization of Yakuza is just the best. Like they nail that. It has such a great sense of humor. That's captured so well in its writing. And when in its translation, that I think some of the older Yakuza games didn't really have.
Boo.
See, mash squares, just a type boof.
And then he's just like nodding.
Look at chat; they're using the little
the little parentheses period.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. So you're in. This is like a webcam. What are they?
a chat room, like a chatterbait or something.
Yeah, like
I
that.
don't know.
So there are other people chatting, and this is Kirio just adding to their chat. Oh, okay, I got you
It's
now.
just, she's responding to the stuff y'all are saying.
Yeah.
And if you do well, which is just punching the buttons properly, then
You get to punch her buttons.
So again, one of the really good things about these most recent Yakuza games, and the reason the sub stories are so entertaining is that when it goes wrong, like you get like dialogue choices, right? And when it goes wrong, that leads to even funnier shit, right? Yeah. When you pick like the bad choices, I was being really successful here because this was the first time I did that, so I didn't want to mispress anything.
Yeah.
But I bet, and I know this from like playing Yakuza 0 and some of the other Yakuza games, that when you fuck up, it's probably even funnier.
Yeah.
Like he probably, instead of
kind of makes
he
you
probably
want to fuck
types
up.
like show me your broccolis or whatever.
Bob and Virginia.
One day shipping on Yakuza 6.
Nolan's like, I'm gonna buy this game right now.
The thing is, I do this for an extra 5 minutes, and she does take her shirt off, and it is kind of worth it here. But what is there to say about Yakuza?
Brad, let me tell you something right now, Brad.
Yes.
You can go on the internet and type in her name and probably see her getting
you
railed.
see a cock in her mouth. That's sure.
Getting railed?
Yeah, because I'm sure she's a real porn star.
Yeah.
Because that's who they hire for these modern Yakuza games.
Someone in chat said
Guys,
it earlier.
we're not looking at porn while on the podcast.
Porn, but porn is boring compared to Yakuza's amazing sense of humor.
No, I thought it was funny because like Crispy has his phone out and he's like, "What's her name?" It's like, no, we're not doing this.
I was recording this and I was surprised how long this was taking.
There you go, Crispy. Lao Kung Pao knows
The thing
what's
is,
up.
Chris Davis played. Can he swap in here real quick with somebody? He's played the first few hours
of this,
and this is his first Yakuza game. And I'm curious to hear his thoughts, but I'm not going to be here probably when he's sitting
Chris
on the couch.
Davis, would you like to sit here for a second?
Just real quick while we watch this.
It's growing.
What's growing? What's growing? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She has big boobies.
God,
just
I know.
So it's short.
Just wait.
Literally a handful, Crispy.
Stop it! You're ruining it, Crispy. You're ruining the tease.
You're right.
Chris Davis,
I've
what do you
seen
think?
too much.
You're new.
This is my first Yakuza game.
Poor choice, but alas, you've made it.
I have been told that so many times in the past year and a half since I even remotely entertained the idea of ordering one of these games. I put about 3 hours into it. I'm liking it so far.
Okay.
I wish it wasn't like Metal Gear Solid in its exposition and its cutscenes and all that.
Yeah, that's classic.
Because I've played I played it for 3 hours. I maybe had like 45 minutes of actual gameplay at the start of this game.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean,
they all start kind of slow. Although this one I think starts a little snappier. Like you get into that open world pretty quick. Mm-hmm. You get into the world. And you could start doing stuff maybe sooner in this one than the last.
What's up, Nick?
Someone's name in the chat room is divorced 7 times.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder, can you...
Oh, no, all the names in there are really good.
Can you ask her about her back problems that she probably has?
No, it's been pretty good so far.
What have you done? Just like
I've gotten into a few tussles with like menacing men and
what do you think of
triads.
the combat?
A few tussles?
Yes.
Maybe even a Donnybrook or two?
Oh my god, yes.
I know. Just
wow.
Whoa, Nick's pants are off.
Why do you think I have the pillow?
Oh my god, there's so much hair.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Keep going.
Are you okay there,
Despite
Nick?
that, it still goes on too long.
Someone needs to teach her how to take like clothes off.
So the series has like never had good combat ever, and this is a new engine and a new combat
Is this a
system, and
fighting
it's even
game?
worse.
It's the combat's all right. I
It's
feel like the
okay.
combos and everything that you can do is a little underwhelming.
As you level
I'm
up,
not-
you get more stuff to kind of spice it up, but the core of it is always going to kind of feel like it does.
Like the core attraction of the combat for me is like grabbing things in the environment, just beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bicycles.
Did you
and
figure out
motorcycles,
kind of
things
heat
like that.
actions yet? Where
I haven't quite figured that out
Okay.
yet. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
know
a
I
new
can
system in
activate
this
heat
one,
vision,
where
but,
you
like,
fill up a meter and you hit R2.
yeah, and he
to
starts
go into
glowing
that
blue
mode.
and
yeah, you got to hit that R2 button before you can start doing heat actions in this one, I think.
yeah.
But so
I'll
did you
do
do
it.
anything in the city? Did you go karaokeing, batting cages, anything like
I
that?
haven't had time. I've been
Oh.
kind of mainlining the story.
I would say
Okay.
the first couple hours of Yakuza are usually pretty story heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely give yourself time to explore the city, because the sub stories that you'll stumble into as you're just running around the city
Yeah.
are the best parts of these games, I think. And
Yeah,
and-
I've stumbled into two stories. The start of this one with the live chat,
yeah.
and then I found in the course of the main story, little girl and her mother arguing about Haruka, who's his not niece, but yeah,
No, not sort of. He's like a surrogate father.
yeah.
You know, almost like not officially adopted.
But I'm getting the real feeling that based on the pacing in like the first couple hours,
No.
it's you take Kazuma and you go across Kamurocho and you do thing, and somebody else tells you to go here, and then you go there, and then you have a fight, and it just does it kind of repeat like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so. It's not as. It's not as. Like it's more. It feels kind of organic. I mean, you do a lot of running around. You could go back and watch all the videos
More like
once you unlock
orgasmic.
them.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
As you're, it's more like once the story gets going, it's not going to feel as.
because it feels like I'm just a gopher going and doing shit. For people.
So I mean that is a part of the Yakuza series, but then like Brad was saying, I think there's a lot of times like the submissions are where some of the best shit's at.
Yeah.
The main story, while there are some gopher stuff, it's not everything. I mean, I say that I haven't played 6, so I don't know if 6 is just gopher
No,
stuff.
no.
This is
but
one thing I
doubt it.
actually really like about the game, and y'all discussed it last
The
week.
mini
was
games,
the-
like arcade.
well,
games?
no, like how there are almost no loading walls at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the only loading happens between like cinematics.
Mhm.
I can't believe they put like all of Virtual Fighter Final Showdown, which is the most recent updated Virtual Fighter game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the game, and you can play it with another player. In fact, you can from the main menu of the game just boot up
Just
Virtual
play Virtual
Fighter
Fighter.
and
Nice.
play that game with other people. And in fact, some people have even. I didn't expect to talk about Yakuza.
I mean, it
that
might
long,
be
so
like a
we're kinda back
backdoor
in it,
way
but-
to express interest in Virtua Fighter 6 if there's one.
Well, exactly. But it's crazy that they have a whole PS3 game just in here among other games in the arcade, which is crazy.
What
But, yeah.
other games are there in the arcade? Like
Well, you have
classics,
classic Sega games,
Space
the more
Harrier,
recent
things
ones,
like that?
They have like a Puyo Puyo game. They have Outrun, But like Virtual Fighter, I mean that's crazy because that's like the most recent Virtual Fighter game, and it's in there. So it's kind of cool.
That's pretty nice.
People have even figured out you could do like the share play or whatever, where people can kind of like jack into your game and like control stuff with you. And people basically it's created an online mode for Virtual Fighter 5
Huh.
because you can give someone control over, it, but you can still control too, so you can fight each other versus.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is weird, crazy. But,
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I can feel like there's a lot of depth in this game or in this series. I guess I'm just scratching the surface.
Oh yeah.
At
I
least
didn't
6
realize
inches.
you hadn't kind of stretched your
Yeah,
legs
if
yet.
you're really interested, maybe you should play Yakuza 0.
Oh my fucking god!
All right, leave him alone. He's got the game. He's playing it.
Be happy I'm playing this.
It's too late.
I got the After Hours edition too,
He's
which
played more of it than I
What does
have.
that mean?
the After Hours edition is like
Comes
one
with
of the
used
two
panties.
collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with 2 whiskey glasses with whiskey cubes
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the art
whiskey
book,
stones.
and it's really nice actually.
Used panties.
Very cool. All right.
I got the Life is Art edition or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it comes with the same art book.
Fairly
Yeah.
certain life is study.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad I stretched this out, but now the footage is repeating. So
I'm okay with that, Brad.
it rolling for the rest
Yeah.
Her clothes are back on.
I recorded some footage of like working out
Not
and
for
stuff
long.
too, but I didn't. I told them to start later because I didn't think we'd be talking about it that long.
Okay, you can have your seat back, Nick.
Thank you.
You
Thanks,
okay
Chris
there?
Davis.
Got rid of your Woody there.
This sucks.
Went ahead and took
I
care
s-
of that.
I still need to finish Zero and God of War.
Zero's
comes
a pretty
out
good
tomorrow.
ending, yeah.
Hey, real.
And you haven't played God of War Ascension. You got to finish that.
Right.
Oh,
I got through
first of all,
Ascension, too.
fuck you. Second of all, real quick, because I finished it before God of War came out.
Oh, yeah.
I finished Far Cry 5.
Nice. How'd you like that ending, Nick?
The ending didn't bother me. It was the fucking boss fight was fucking garbage. That
Yeah.
boss fight, that last boss fight, like if that game had a great ending, that boss fight still would have tainted
Yeah.
the end of like the tail end of that game
But to
because
be clear, it doesn't.
it does not.
No.
Have a great night.
Well, I mean, there's a choice to make at the end of it. I don't know
I made my choice. I don't know what.
what choice did you make. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this
Yeah.
on the podcast. But I'm kind of curious to see what happens if you make the other
I mean,
choice.
I
'Cause some
kinda-
crazy shit happened when I made the choice. And it was actually like, narratively speaking, it was kind of. I mean, the whole game is ridiculous from a narrative perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole game's bad
What?
from a narrative perspective.
Sure.
The way they delivered the narration is not the best. Yeah.
Yes, and the longer I played the game, the more it became an issue with the whole
Yeah.
thing we talked about with the getting pulled out of doing something else to be forced into a story thing. I didn't
I
like
just
that.
don't know why they would force you to pull out.
Bliss bullets.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but like it happened to me twice
Like,
where I
Yakuza
was like
6
about
is
to
the
finish a
exact
mission.
opposite.
I was about to finish a mission.
Nick was about to finish.
about to
And
finish,
they made him pull out.
and they made me pull out
Blue balls.
yeah.
of the mission. It was annoying.
Of the missionary.
You know what? Far Cry 5, pretty good. If I had
Primal's still on top. For
Primal's still my favorite. It's probably like I like Primal 4, followed by maybe.
you? I
this.
really wanted you to do the Far Cry 1 thing, man, because it's like one of your favorite series. And,
Sure,
and, like,
and yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
I'm not like I'm not saying I'm never gonna do that, but I don't know. Like
I
the
know,
thing
but
is, like I
as we
like
get
Far
away
Cry.
from
I love Far
Far Cry,
Cry because of what it became with 2.
but
and-
but you may have loved that first one too.
Don't get me wrong. I tried playing the first one. Of course, the versions
Probably
I played
some
may not have been
bootleg
ideal.
Xbox
No, I
version.
played the Xbox version, and I think at one point I may have tried the PC version at some point, but I don't think I had a great PC at the time. I don't fucking know. I think I may have tried it back in the day around when Crysis was big because I wanted.
That was a very loved game.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
Sure, but it is also a very different game.
Yeah.
But you know what? Far Cry 5 is pretty good. It didn't
Except
really.
the
It
tracks
didn't
and shit.
quite top my.
You should
My
watch
favorite.
a movie now.
No, that's an Bowl movie. Not watching that.
Uwe Boll.
Is it Uwe?
Yeah.
Popcorn cast go.
No, not happening. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Far Cry. I finished it. Moving on. I'm glad I finished it before God of War.
Yep.
So we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some stuff, some news. Maybe Brad will be here for the very beginning of that to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a couple I want to mention.
All right, so we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll hit up some news topics. Then Chris Davis will join us to tell us a little bit about Radical Heights. We'll answer some Patreon questions and all that good stuff after the break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break. I said that already.
You said
didn't I?
break like 5
Shit.
times.
Castlevania.
There we go.
Is
Thanks,
back.
Brad. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Yes, what Brad said is
back.
true.
Hell yeah.
Finally.
We're jumping straight
You
into
know,
news.
I feel like we get down about Konami.
I feel like it's
a
funny.
lot
It's
around
like
here.
Brad's back, and suddenly there's a new Castlevania game.
Yep.
It's like right on
It's
cue.
like the chicken or the egg. I don't fucking know. But
Spyro, now Castlevania. What's
Oh my God, you're right. Spyro came out like right before the first week where Brad was back on the podcast, and now it's canceled.
somebody's got
What's happening next
talk
week?
about this bullshit.
What's happening next week?
Some new Legacy of Kain or some shit.
Made by Mercury Steam.
No. It's new Final Fantasy Tactics.
Made by Mercury. It's gonna be whatever
Yeah, but
he wants.
that would
Made
be
by
good
Mercury
news.
Steam.
Oh yeah, made by Mercury Steam. I still can't believe that Legacy of Kain died with a 4-on-4 multiplayer game made by the people that created Rocket League after that.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention. Not that I played this at all, but like God of War Ascension has a fucking multiplayer mode.
Oh, yeah.
What the
wow.
fuck?
That
is
was
up
like
with
its
that?
unique thing.
What
I
do you
know.
do in it?
I have no
You
idea.
fight stuff with other people.
I didn't. Carlos said he's something about playing with him, but like I wasn't really.
He doesn't have that game.
Yeah, I'm not playing that.
All right. Hey, listen. Castlevania's back. You know, we get down on Konami.
I feel like you should have said "is back, baby."
I feel like we think that, Konami is in such a place that we won't see a great return to all of our old, Konami franchises we love. Like your loved Silent Hill, Nick, like my loved Suikoden and Castlevania and Metal Gear and I don't know, Contra. Gradius. A lot of classic stuff. Anybody ever play Vandal Hearts?
Nope.
That was a Konami game. Konami series. But yeah, Castlevania actually came back.
It's also got a really good title this time. I kind of like the Grimoire of Shadow.
Grimoire of Shadow, yes.
Hey, that's a
amazing.
It's a cool
title.
name. Yeah.
This is a mobile game. Free to play gacha game.
You want to slide that in there?
A multiplayer mobile free-to-play game that you play with other people and I think versus other people. Like straight up like Castlevania dudes fighting other Castlevania dudes. And this isn't the first time that happened because Harmony of Despair, which is a game I think is super underrated, that I think is a great cooperative...
Did you ever get those boots, Brad?
Yes.
The
I
winged
did.
boots?
Well, I got the Sonic boots, which are like slightly faster than the winged boots, enough to where
wait, but
the
you
people
never
with
got
the
the
winged boots. No, I never got the winged boots, but I got the Sonic boots.
Gotta go fast.
So you're just a little bit faster than the winged boots people, which just it just shames them. It's great. So yeah, it was good that I got those. But,
Someone post that image of the little kid in the Sonic costume doing this thing. Fucking love that one.
Can't run away from the pain.
I'm still waiting for Brad, like the other shoe to drop on this. Like Brad's talking about this, like he's actually.
what do you want me to say at this point?
I wanted you to cry tears of
So
disappointment. That's what I wanted you to do.
You want to feast on your pain.
So when you said that, like, oh, it's like when they canceled PT or whatever the fuck, right?
Sure.
But like, my history with Castlevania goes back. Like, this has happened multiple times to me. Like Lords of Shadows.
It's only happened
it was
to me
bad when
once.
Lords of Shadows was like a mediocre like God of War clone. Like, I was like, I'm not happy with that.
Yeah.
And then they do a handheld one, and it's like, oh, so I had hopes that maybe Iga would still do, like, the handheld games, and I would be happy. But no, then they gave that to the Lords of Shadows people.
Wait.
And then Lords of Shadows 2 came out, and it's like, that one was just a garbage fire. No one liked that one. So it's like multiple times I've been punched in the dick, and then it just goes away forever. Forever.
Wait. There was a handheld.
Yes.
What was that one?
A bad one.
No,
Mirror of Fate.
Wow.
We also got an HD re-release.
I have blocked that one from my memory completely.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's not
What
good.
you're saying, though, Brad, is because it's only happened to me once, my pain is less important.
I'm saying you keep bringing it up. Oh, you mean like PT, like PT, like PT. Listen,
I didn't say you brought
it's
up
going to take
PT.
a lot of PTs for you to have the kind of sorrow that I feel
You brought up PT.
with all of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, check your privilege, Nick.
Yeah, check your privilege, dude.
Jesus, Nick.
Is that the name of the show?
Someone suggested something pretty good earlier, but I already forgot what it was. So I don't know what this is. It's not going to be good. It's on a phone, and it's like a free to play. It's like free to play nonsense.
Maybe
right?
I'm just like
so it's not even going to be like a good phone game. It's just going to be like garbage poop. And even if it makes a lot of money, it's not going to be like Konami's like, well, people love Castlevania now, so let's make a real one. They'll just make more of this bullshit, right?
Probably.
Like any other Japanese publisher that once they go mobile, that's it. It's fucking sad.
maybe I'm not giving the platform enough credit because I listen to a lot of other podcasts where people talk very comfortably about enjoying mobile games.
No,
I can't do it. I cannot get excited about playing a game.
I'm not a fan.
The moment I hear mobile, I'm like, nope.
The only good mobile games worth playing typically are kind of like, smaller indie games, little prestige indie games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not the stuff that's coming out of Japan.
No.
It's just not. You know, they're not like, you know, it's not, you know, the amazing.
Sorry.
I wanted
Pokemon
Chris
just
Davis to click on the
suggested
fucking link, but he doesn't pay attention, man.
Click on the link. No,
That's
not that
the
one.
wrong
The other
link,
one.
Chris
Oh,
Davis.
great.
No, wrong
What is
link.
This shit.
It's at the division. I don't like this.
That looks boring as
It's
hell.
no, the other one's the.
I didn't even notice that.
Jessica
'Cause
Chastain,
Nolan's-
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh my god! No matter how fast I run, I cannot run away from the pain.
He has
That's-
black shoes. I never noticed that before.
That's a really creepy picture, by the way.
On its surface, it does look like this game might have elements that were present in something like a Harmony of Despair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, on the other end, it's a mobile game. It's a free-to-play game. It looks like dog shit. There's just some really crappy art style they're going with in this one.
I really.
I think
don't-
it also might secretly be a MOBA. Because I saw like a 4 versus 4 with like 2 different sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a red side and a blue side.
Sure.
And I think it might be a MOBA. I think this might be a MOBA.
Hard pass.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a. I'm like Nolan. I'm gonna give it a hard pass.
Well, I mean, if it comes out,
Brad like keeps getting kicked in the dick, but he keeps coming back for more. He's like, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna try this.
well, I mean, I gotta try it. It's
I'm gonna
like
give
my
it a
favorite
shot.
Series, right?
I guess.
What if
Sure.
it's actually fun?
No, but like
Well, then
here's the
it's
thing.
fun.
Like,
Don't be that.
I don't
person.
feel that.
Don't put hope in Brad's
I
heart.
don't feel that way about my favorite franchises. Like I probably will never
Look,
touch
you can
Book
play
of.
Alucard.
I will.
As someone who's come to love and respect Symphony of the Night, shut up.
I will never touch. Like you say it's like your favorite franchise. You owe it to it to give it a shot. But like
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about Book of Memories for Silent Hill. I just don't. Like it's not.
I mean, that's a way forward game.
I know,
That's
but
like
it
a
is-
real developer.
But it's also not like a genre of game that I'm at all interested in.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like a fun. It's not like they made Book of Memories and said this is what Silent Hill is now. You know what I mean?
No, they just did that and then.
So
killed
you
the
can
franchise.
appreciate it. Wait, that wasn't the last.
I
thing.
know they made one more after.
So you can appreciate, and they were gonna make another one after that, and it got canceled
yeah,
for other reasons.
and it looked like it was gonna be the most amazing fucking game.
Sure,
in
but
the
what I'm
series.
saying is, I think you can appreciate, like I don't look at like Castlevania Judgment, which was the fighting game, as this travesty stain on the Castlevania series because it was just this weird random side project and it was never going to be the future of Castlevania. It's a fucking fighting game, and on that
Sure.
level, and while I've played that, I think you could play Book of Memories.
I'm not saying I
In
could.
fact, I don't even think I
Well, I don't even have the platform to play it anymore.
Was that a Vita game?
It's a Vita game.
Yeah.
I don't have a Vita anymore.
And I don't think it was Vita TV compatible either.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We have another game, another news topic.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about
Let's just go right into that.
Platinum?
Yeah.
This is also kind of.
Roll the footage, Chris Davis. Roll the fucking footage. Platinum Games has announced their first mobile game, and I want you to look at this footage, look at this artwork,
And tell me you're not super excited, and then before
so if you watch this not knowing that this is a free to play mobile game
you'd
that
be
they're
excited.
making,
you'd be
you'd
like,
be excited.
Of course,
because
that's the point of
what
a
does this
trailer.
look like? It looks
That's-
like fucking Okami.
That's the point of a trailer, to get you
it looks
pumped
like
and excited.
Okami meets like Neo meets
meets
I
like a Platinum Games game, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you saw this and you knew it was Platinum Games, which you did at the start of this trailer, how suicidal would you be by the end of it when you found out it was a free-to-play mobile
That
game?
one monster looked like
well,
a
the thing is, like,
penis.
I actually avoided watching the trailer because I saw the headline, saw that it was a mobile game, and I was like, I don't want to see something that looks cool.
Yeah, but see,
only to find
part
out.
of the pain is that they're going back to this Okami art style.
Yeah.
That's part of the sadness.
Wow, this looks like Okami, like
Yeah,
super,
yeah.
but like more detailed too. Like it looks like the kind of the natural evolution of Okami.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I can't think of. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm not trying to be mean against like Japanese game development. In fact, I think over the past like couple of years, they've had like an amazing resurgence in making like impressive, like relevant games.
Sure.
That are on all of our Game of the Year lists. In the past couple of years, back on consoles and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But like, I don't trust anything on mobile coming out of Japan these days.
all right.
Because
Just a hypothetical here, real quick, purely hypothetical. But
Yeah.
what was the other game that I know you played, that I know you loved, that started out as a mobile game that was then ported to handhelds and other platforms? It was the one fuck.
Tetris.
No, like the shit. What was it, guys? You got to know. It's like
Fruit Ninja.
Was it the guy from the guys that did Guacamelee?
Fruit Ninja.
Oh, no.
no.
You're thinking of Severed?
Yes.
No,
Severed.
Severed started as a Vita game.
Yeah.
It was later ported to mobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it started as a mobile game
No,
and
no,
then
no.
became a Vita game.
But again, that's a Western indie developer. Like, I trust Western indies with like cool mobile games. There's
Like
a lot.
Yearwalk?
There's a
That was
lot
a
of
really good
cool
one.
shit out there.
But
that,
I
like,
never, like, as much as I would
Seriously,
love
y'all have no
Yearwalk,
idea.
I could not finish it because I just have no
You
interest in
didn't
playing.
finish that game?
No, I couldn't do it. I hate
Nick!
play.
It's like 2 hours.
I hate playing games on my phone.
You don't even you didn't even get to the game.
Isn't that- I think that's on
I
Steam.
played a solid hour of
No,
that game.
but you didn't get to the game. Is what I'm saying.
Don't-
Stop.
I hate you.
I hate
It's
me.
on
I hate me
Steam.
too.
I hate. Get it on Steam, man.
Yearwalk's on Steam.
God damn it.
Yeah, they did another game too. That's
I know.
Really cool. On mobile. But that's what I'm saying. I don't trust Platinum Games to make this something worth playing because
Hey, maybe.
there's
what
a
happens
certain.
if it's good?
But is it going to be a $30 mobile game?
No.
No, it's going to be a free to play garbage fest,
Yeah.
and it just makes me angry. But at the same time, this could be like hugely successful.
But
for
if you
them.
took out the N in that last word,
the reason that these Japanese developers keep making these games is because they're becoming fucking rich off of it.
yeah, no,
let's
they
just
are.
hope
But
this
like
is
for all we
being-
know, this could be a chair situation where they did. I know it's a really dated reference at this point, but they did Infinity Blade, and they're like, "Well, we never need to make fucking Shadow Complex
Why-
ever again.
why would we
We're
ever make a
drowning
good
in
game?"
pussy? I mean, money."
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Holy shit, Brad! Where did that slip out? Oh my god!
I mean,
slip
I
in.
mean,
I can't start drowning in and not say.
we can still hope that this is just gonna provide them.
You could have said drowning in
Can
quicksand.
you take the timestamp down for that, Chris Davis? I might need a bleep that.
Um,
Oh my
Wasn't he just talking about the character from Orange is the New Black?
yeah. Wait, Orange is the New Black has a character named Pussy.
Poussey?
Pussy. To put. I put.
All right, we have one more news topic. Let's
Yeah.
jump to that. I'm tired of watching this trailer that looks good.
Stop it.
What? It
What?
looks cool. All right.
What's up? What's our final news topic?
This is, so there's a bigger conversation to probably have. I don't want to have it
oh.
about Battle
Well,
Royale
then why even
mode.
start?
But this seems like kind of a big deal. Call of Duty
Yeah.
historically has been a game that has really has a multiplayer mode that's like really has a lot of mainstream appeal. It gets really popular, but
Yep.
it's always had a single player mode that's been very
Short?
short, but short and sweet is
Yeah.
what I would call it.
That's a good point.
People have really latched on to the annual Call of Duty campaign. Most of the time, they're pretty good.
They're
They're
decent,
solid
yeah.
4 hours of gameplay, and they feel satisfying. A lot of epic moments. So it seems strange to me that Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is the Call of Duty game coming out this year, is I don't know if this is confirmed 100% or if it's just a rumor at this point, but it is
I think it's confirmed. Now.
it is all but confirmed.
But-
Black Ops 4 will not have a single player campaign, a traditional single player
Dun,
campaign.
dun, dun.
And there's a lot of talk of that being in favor of something like a battle royale mode.
So
I
like,
just
a very
think
smart decision they're making
it's-
because they're going to save a ton of money and make a bunch of money.
Sure, it's a financially smart decision, but it's also like, it's like for me, it's like the nail in the coffin for a series that I was already, only. God damn it!
It didn't look like him at first.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Wait, is that not me?
That is you.
Oh, okay. I was like, that looks like me. Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Can I get a copy of that?
Can I make that the image that shows up when Nick calls me?
That's my new Abby.
I know.
yeah.
I know. We don't need. There's not a whole lot.
But
we
like,
want to talk.
listen, all they killed off are people like you, Nick.
Oh, thanks.
Well, no, it's
Thanks.
Brad has a point. The people that don't make them money are the ones that,
I give them my $60
I
occasionally
Exactly.
but you don't keep coming back to the game.
because, yeah,
You-
$60
you weren't-
occasionally
You weren't
doesn't
buying.
mean shit.
You weren't buying the loot
I
boxes.
just think I feel like it's weird how many we've seen so many Call of Duty campaigns at this point, and they've all been pretty strong, and it's like that has kind of become synonymous with Call of Duty, like good multiplayer, great campaign.
I don't.
If this is as successful as it sounds like it's going to be, that's like the end of like Call of Duty campaigns, pretty much. It
I
seems
don't
like.
get why this has to be a trade necessarily. I mean, it's not like they don't have any framework for a multiplayer game. I understand that their games right now are, maybe 24 people tops or something
Yeah.
like that. They're not big, but why does them having to make a bigger multiplayer mode mean that they just like can't do a campaign?
No, I think this is
whatsoever?
their excuse to get rid of the thing they've wanted to get rid of for years now.
I think it's a combination of things. Yes, it's an excuse because, Crispy, it's development time. They have to spend probably a decent amount of time having the game work with that many people.
But there's no
because the
way
fact is,
that-
it's not even going to launch with like. There's rumors that it's not going to launch with 100 because
But
that's
the
difficult.
amount of like production time they put into doing like a full story campaign, doing cutscenes, actors, like dealing with all that shit, and the amount of time that they would have to take to modify the framework they already have to have bigger maps and accept more clients at the same time, those can't be.
I can see
those
that
can't
argument.
be equitable.
But the thing is,
I think
I
so.
bet 80.
Oh, dude, a AAA
It doesn't
Call
matter.
of Duty campaign.
I think the
It
dumbest.
doesn't
I think you're
matter.
underestimating how much production time that costs.
No, it's 80% of like the cost of,
You can chime in when
of a new Call of Duty game. Yet someone plays it for 5 hours, and then they play the multiplayer for hundreds of hours. Activision has probably been looking for this excuse, and I think this is a good one.
Also, I think, I wouldn't have as big of a problem with it if they weren't calling this Black Ops 4. What if I feel like this should be like Black Ops, then something followed by like a new subtitle, like a whole new spin-off of the franchise.
Black Ops Royale.
Like the fact that they're calling Black Ops 4
Black
seems
Ops
ridiculous to me
Royale.
if it's not going
There
to
you
continue
go.
the story of Black Ops 4 like in a significant way. They'll probably find some way to like shoehorn elements of a story into it, but it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Was there like a game writers guild strike or something in the last couple of years? Is there something where these companies are like, we need to not have as many writers as we have on staff anymore?
I wouldn't
Because
be
these kind of
surprised.
changes
There's
are
a voice
specifically
actors.
axing like that, you know?
But like someone in chat brings up Titanfall 2, rightfully so. They did it the other way around. They had a game that was almost entirely multiplayer focused, and then decided
Yeah,
that it
but
was worthwhile to add the
that was-
campaign back
It
in.
was a disaster for EA. Like they lost a lot of money on Titanfall 2. No one bought it.
But like I don't think anyone would have bought it either if they had just released another Titanfall game that was multiplayer only.
Probably not.
In fact,
No,
they wouldn't
sure.
have bothered making it. Probably.
Sure, but if Titanfall announces a battle royale mode, it's probably going to sell.
Sure. I think that's the bigger conversation I didn't want to have.
Holy shit. A Titanfall Battle Royale mode. I'd play that.
This is what everybody's thinking in every fucking boardroom
I'd
on
play
every
that.
single publisher and developer right now.
I know.
Yeah, but you don't
That,
understand.
to me, is
that Battle
terrifying.
Royale mode also has giant mechs,
Sure,
which is awesome.
sure.
Like we didn't actually put it in the news this week, but there's also a thing about the developers from at Hangar 13, the guys who made Mafia 3, all but confirmed that like basically someone has confirmed the existence of a new BioShock game in development. And it makes me worried for like I don't play a lot of shooters these days, but the ones that I am excited for, like what if they just come out in their fucking battle royale games? What if the next BioShock's a battle
dude,
royale
dude,
game?
This is a weird amount of
Related
hand-wringing over
to
Battle
BioShock.
Royale games.
Related
I
to
feel like.
BioShock though, because they were saying like, oh, some top secret developer at 2K was working on a new BioShock, right? And I had the idea, and people like shit all over it, but I got really excited. I think it's a good idea. If you have the XCOM team make a BioShock like tactical style strategy tactics game, because if you finish XCOM 2, they kind of teased like Terror from the Deep, which was like classically what the follow up to XCOM was, like kind of this underwater,
right.
kind of XCOM-y type thing. What if instead they did like a BioShock XCOM game?
That would be cool,
How
but I wouldn't
dope
want
would that be?
But I wouldn't want that to come at the expense of not having another traditional
Well,
story-based
I
single
mean,
player.
BioShock killed the last one killed the studio, so they have to be looking for something different.
But like,
Yeah.
I am fairly confident that when we see BioShock reemerge, it will be the BioShock that we recognize.
XCOM Battle Royale. A
Okay.
turn-based 100-player.
Oh, you gotta wait for 99 other people to take turns?
Yeah,
Oh, kill me. Kill me. Like,
that would be amazing.
there's like 99 other people yelling at the one guy who's AFK and missed when his turn came up. They're like, oh, ban him! Like,
well,
it
actually,
takes 5 hours to complete a game.
actually, XCOM does do like Divinity. Original Sin does real time while some
Yeah.
people are doing turn based at the same time.
Yeah, and that's weird.
That's
Divinity
weird.
Battle Royale.
That's fucking strange.
It is cool though.
All right. That's all the news we have
Man,
this week.
Titanfall Battle Royale. What if there was like you had to get an item to get your Titan, and then there's like one dude with a Titan and a bunch of little guys, and he's just running around the whole island like murdering people? That would be cool. That would be cool. I don't care what you say.
Dark Souls
I'm
Battle
not saying
Royale.
it wouldn't be cool. It just, it's happening. I feel like it's starting to happen at the expense of other playstyles and other modes.
Let me ask you this:
I don't
could Blizzard?
think so. I mean,
That's my fear.
What we're hearing about now is a lot of games that aren't battle royales adding battle royale modes
Sure.
on top of what they already have.
Sure.
And
I'm specifically
maybe
referring
we've
to-
lost a Black Ops campaign, which I know there are a lot of people in the world who would be upset about that. I'm not really one of them, but
I'm not super upset about it. It's just more of like, I don't want that to become a trend. And like, in this industry, anything can become a trend at any moment.
I think the amount of like jokes and like hot take reactions that have been floating around about this whole thing before it's even really blown up is gonna keep that in check. Because I swear to God, I hear about battle royales taking over gaming every day, and it's always from people complaining about battle royales taking over gaming. I can't remember the last time before today that I heard an announcement of a game moving to battle royale or something like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, in most cases, like you said, it ends up being more of they're adding a battle royale mode and not at the expense of taking away the mode. Like Red Dead Redemption is themed.
Yeah, they're not gonna axe the story.
But
Red
if they
Dead.
did, I'd be officially worried.
That would be crazy.
All right, Brad is leaving. Goodbye, Brad.
Bye, Brad. Bye, Brad.
Of course, like as we've mentioned before, Brad is back from hiatus, but for the first month or so, he has a bit of a wonky work schedule. So he'll be typically for the next couple of weeks, he'll be on the show the first half and then departing for the second segment. So Chris Davis is filling his spot for the second half.
And
Hello.
regarding that news story, I'd like to point out two things.
Okay.
Number
This
one,
is the Call of Duty news story.
Yeah.
Yes.
One, the Titanfall 2 thing. The reason that game didn't sell well was because they launched it at the absolute worst time they could possibly launch it.
As
Which
publishers
was right
often
after
do.
a Call of Duty release and right before a fucking Battlefield release.
Yeah. No,
That is atrocious timing.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
the
you
thing
know
is,
what?
publishers in general have atrocious timing.
Well, no, and I agree, and I would really love to see games get moved more. Like, we saw the same thing with like Infinity War. Right? No, not Infinity War. What got moved?
No,
recently?
Infinity War
Yeah,
moved
Infinity
up.
War moved up.
Yeah.
Because hey, you know what?
It's done.
It was gonna be against some other things that
Star
they didn't
Wars.
want to
It was
go
gonna go up
against.
against Han Solo.
I know. I was
Han
going
Solo.
against Star Wars, and that was a dumb move on their part. What's up, Brad?
I gotta ask Crispy one last question.
What?
Do you think Blizzard has the ability to make 80 more waifus?
Yeah, for sure.
And then drop them onto an island.
I'm sure they've
Think
got,
of the porn,
They've
Brad.
got 3 writers on staff that are just like waifu-centric focus.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
But that's
hey, that's a
like-
really cool concept for a character kit. How can we put it onto a sexy lady? You know?
That's what I was saying. Is that like if the thing is, I want to see games like move more. If it's coming out against something it probably shouldn't be coming out against, like fucking just move the date, man. Like I understand you're gonna lose maybe a little money or
The
you
thing
won't
is-
get money as fast.
The thing
but-
is, with the way games are developed now and printed and whatnot, I feel like unlike maybe the film industry where it's done maybe quite a bit longer before it's actually out in the public. Like God of War went gold like last month, so there's not a whole lot of wiggle room. So if it was to move, it would almost always be moving back as opposed to moving forward, like
Sure.
Infinity War did.
yeah.
That's almost ends up in like, especially at the end of like the fiscal year
fiscal
or
year,
whatever.
I
Like they're never
understand.
going to push it beyond the end of the fiscal year. That's why we end up seeing things like in March where everything's fucking coming out at the same time. That's why we're getting like September is going to be absolute fucking madness.
Yep.
September.
Yeah, like what was it last year? Was it October?
October last
Yeah,
year.
October last year. This year it's September, almost certainly.
The
But
other thing-
I do agree with you, Noel.
The other thing I want to say about Black Ops is that we didn't get that Modern Warfare 2 remastered announcement like we were all but confirmed to get. So
When was that supposed to be announced?
That was supposed to be like a month ago.
Oh.
And that was the rumor was a single player only remake of Modern Warfare 2. So what if this Black Ops 4 product is single player Modern Warfare 2 and multiplayer Black Ops?
But why would they put the campaign for another game in? I
Why-
see where
why
you're going.
Why didn't Infinite Warfare come with Modern Warfare Remastered?
I see where you're going, but I would be willing to bet that we'll still see that project. It'll
They
be.
could call it the Call of Duty Give Us Money edition.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'd be more willing to bet that we see like a a compilation disc, kind of like God of War 1 and 2 HD, where it's like the campaigns from Modern Warfare 1 and 2 on one disc or something. Like, I could see that happening. But I don't know. I bet we'll see that again, and maybe they'll say that at E3 or something. I don't.
Yeah.
We're supposed
E3
to get
is
our announcement like a few weeks from now. Actually,
everything is E3 is approaching, so we'll start to see more things.
It is coming up pretty quick.
All right. Before we move on to Patreon questions, did you want to share some thoughts on Radical Heights?
So, yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
So Radical Heights, as we talked about last week, is the new game from Boss Key.
Yes.
Is there an overlay?
The Passion Project.
There is an overlay.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you go. It's their. We desperately want to stay in business.
This is their
game.
panic. This is their panic project.
Their panic game.
It's
been in development for 5 months. It feels like it's been in development for 5 months.
wait. Why is Nolan making that face?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Okay.
continue talking about Radical Heights.
And roll that beautiful bean footage.
You have to wait 30 seconds, Chris Davis.
Okay.
Oh no!
I don't have the timer on there. I don't know how far.
Nolan's
along we
been
are.
waiting to say that back to Chris Davis for
how many years?
a
have you been
year.
wanting to- Yeah. Okay.
Just waiting in anticipation.
So
Oh, no,
The
sorry.
idea
This is
is
Battle
that this
Royale.
is-
This is PUBG footage. We got
this
the
is
wrong.
a-
No, I think this is Elysium Ring.
this is an
Okay, sorry,
80s.
this looks so fucking weird with him. Like.
Oh, is this Red Dead?
Wait, you don't have to parachute? in
Wait
this
a
game?
second.
No,
No, they
that's
just
how you
drop
start
it.
in this game. So you're in like a dome from like fucking the Truman Show, and you get dropped in. You fly across the map and you just land on the ground.
Hold
and you
on,
just
Chris
start
Davis. The
shooting.
graphics haven't loaded yet.
I know. That's one of the things about this. Since it's 5 months in development, this parking garage it doesn't have textures. I would say about half of the buildings in this game don't have texture work.
Okay, so I will say this is like this is one thing that's very bizarre. Like this is kind of unprecedented. So this is I'm not super familiar with the whole lawbreaker situation, but if I understand it correctly,
You break the law. You
Radical
go to jail.
Heights is kind of like a panic reaction to lawbreakers failing, right?
Yes.
So this is like we need to do something quick. We need to get
to
it
make
out there.
money somehow.
We need to make some money
Yeah.
because lawbreakers failed pretty hard. So
Crashed
they
and
ended up they're trying to break into the battle royale market, right? And they've basically released a super early access of a game that's only been in development for about 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had like the crystal clear picture of what's actually happening here because it suddenly makes sense.
So
I will say this: like shooting dudes looks pretty satisfying.
It is,
it's
and the
okay.
people who play this game suck. I do really well every time I play, and I get fucking just like trounced in PUBG on the regular.
Yeah. So the idea behind this game is that it's an 80s style future Running Man type of
Is
game.
that why he's wearing the shirt that doesn't come down to his belly button?
That's
a cutoff or a mid?
That is
Crop
my
tops?
pink
Crop
crop,
tops.
top that I found and purchased with an exorbitant amount of money, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Fake money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, no, I spent real
Well,
money.
no, there is real money. That
Oh,
you
they
yeah,
they
it's-
made sure the microtransactions were on. when
Oh,
they
it's
launched.
bad. So the idea is that it's battle royale. You count down to the last player and you win basically. It does a couple interesting things to it. Number one, this isn't a traditional like the map shrinking kind of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like a dedicated circle that slowly shrinks over time and has like delays between shrinking,
Yeah.
it's actual sectors of the map, like square, like 100-meter sectors
Uh-huh.
that will randomly and in certain patterns go offline.
Well,
And-
like yeah, and like in PUBG, the way they do is a circle, and they just make the circle smaller and smaller and
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
The only thing that changes is the location of it, but like the actual timing and everything is the same. Here, like he's saying, they do different weird patterns, so you can really easily just get like stuck in an area where like there's no other players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fucked.
And like yeah,
So like that sector I was just in went off right there. And
But so if it goes off while you're in it, you can't get out of it?
Oh,
Or-
you can get
move
out of it, you're
through
just
but
taking
it
damage over
damages
time.
you, yeah.
Oh.
yeah,
Really, really
and it looks
bad.
like some kind of VCR like noise on a
yeah,
table.
the white noise.
Yeah, it's
filter.
part of the. Again, this is another building. It's there are no textures in this fucking building.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
It's funny though because it almost kind of looks like an intentional design choice. like everything looks like very, I mean, flat and like there's like a grid on everything.
Yeah.
But like it's because there's no textures on it, but it actually kind of looks like maybe that's the art style.
The
I
other
don't know. It's
other
weird.
really big thing about this game is that it's so focused on in-game cash. So it's a game show, right? You're killing people and you're collecting cash to essentially win a match.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're finding cash and prizes as you're going around the map, and from when you kill certain players if they've accumulated some. Well, that's where the game starts to fuck up, and it's in how it rewards the player. Because there'll be a bunch of like game show events that happen, like a cash drop will happen, where there'll be a set area on the map, or several set areas on the map, in which it just starts raining fucking money from the sky.
Wow.
And it's usually out in the open where you can get shot, but it's very lucrative because you can buy in-game supplies or stuff with that money. But when it comes to the end game of this game, if you win,
Yeah, it looks satisfying. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean they
Dudes explode.
a pinata of cash.
There you go. It looks like they're exploding into a pinata.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But,
good.
but when you win a match, the reward is just doubling the amount of money you have on hand. It's nothing else. In order to get like extra rewards for winning a match, you have to have like a booster that you buy with real world money.
You know what this is almost like you're playing a prototype they would have built to like pitch the game. You know what I mean? Like it almost seems like maybe an incomplete concept.
Yeah,
Like-
no. There's good ideas in there, like having you run around and actually hunt for money at the risk of getting shot, and having these in-game events happen that aren't just like a fucking supply drop or something.
Yeah.
Like it adds a little bit more variety to what you're doing. Like having that cost reward of, do I want to save up this money and deposit it at ATMs in the game to use for future rounds, or to buy like cosmetic stuff for my character, or do I want to use it now to buy like this upgraded armor set that I found, or a weapon I found? There's a level of strategery there that's actually kinda interesting.
Strategery?
Yeah.
Yeah, strategery.
Cool.
And the other good thing, the other thing I like about this game, it's got a lot of charm to it. Honestly, it's very.
It looks like
very,
it looks
very
like it only
cartoony.
has charm.
It looks like it has more potential. It has potential to be more memorable and more charming than.
I would say it
than
even has
Lawbreakers.
poise and class.
I mean,
But like,
given I
there's-
didn't see a whole lot or play any Lawbreakers, but I saw that at E3 and PAX and everything, and I never got like the urge to walk up and play it because it felt so generic to me.
It's so lame.
Yeah.
It was really.
I feel like this has a lot of potential in its presentation.
It
I don't know.
It absolutely does. I mean, it has like announcers that are cheesy and goofy. You rarely hear them, but then you'll also have like the spin to win events that spawn in, or the cash drops, or I even did one of the bike races once, which actually was very useful.
The
one of
fuck?
those yet.
Yeah,
But they'll have like they have bike races that just spawn in the game, and you can go like. I don't
Can you
know,
get
like-
shot while you're riding a bike?
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Like
But
you
if
ride a
you-
bike,
The
But if
game
you
doesn't
win-
stop while like all these events.
But if you
Yeah.
win that event, you get money. I assume. Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, I mean you get a reward and some money.
Okay.
So like you can when I did it, I got like level 4 armor and a level 4 helmet. And that's like the best shit in the game.
So
Of course, they had to go one level higher than
And
PUBG.
so when the game gets down to the last, like, I think when it gets down to the last 10% of the population on the server, it goes to the showcase shootout, in which they open up like all the other sectors that are still available, and they're no longer counting down to those turning individual sectors turning off. It's all of them are going to turn off unless you get to the showcase shootout location somewhere on the map. And that can spawn in like fucking anywhere.
and is that just like a small section of the map where it brings everyone in close and then they have to like kill each other?
That's the one part of the game where it has the circle that's slowly shrinking. And I just want to show this right here because even some of the like the furniture work in the game isn't even perfect. I was just clipping right through that fucking fake bed. It was this game is not complete at all.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not. Like, I think a lot of people in chat are kind of. I don't want to open up the whole Sea of Thieves conversation again, but people are maybe drawing comparisons to like the way I felt about Sea of Thieves, and I think there's just a distinct difference. Like, this game was very much like they're very open about the fact that this game has only been in development for 5 months. So it kind of represent when you play it, it kind of looks like a game that's only been in development for 5 months. I still think that's weird as hell that that there's a game out there people are playing actively that's been in development for 5 months.
And when you win a match, the most rewarding part of winning a match is that it plays "You're the Best Around," like the chorus section of that song.
Well, I guess the question now is, does this do the trick? Is this going to be successful for Boss Key? Like, what's the reception?
It honestly could be. I think the things it needs to do, it needs to address the cosmetics.
But like not even from like a game design or game development standpoint. I'm just saying, like, is the reception, like, are there enough people out there who are like flocking to this? I haven't really had my ear to the ground on this.
I've never had problems finding a match at all.
But Lawbreakers was having problems, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's
they
like
were
a completely different type of game.
Yeah.
I know, but just for comparison's sake, this game was born out of because of Lawbreakers.
This game is
This is
free,
a free-to-play
which
game.
means it will always have an audience.
It's got marketing behind it because of the inadvertent failure of Lawbreakers. It's got that marketing behind it, so people are paying attention to it.
Yeah,
it's free. It's got that visual charm that's kind of unique for this formula, so people are kind of paying attention. It's got
pinata people.
Yeah, pinata people like. Oh man, that fucking balance in this game. I was going to mention this. When I fly into the map right here, I find the ultimate weapon in the game, which is this gold legendary AUG rifle.
Oh, wow.
And I proceed to destroy like 6 people within like a minute and a half right
He's
here.
paid away.
There's balance issues with how they distribute the loot in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no
they'll
reason
iron
that I
that
should
out.
find a legendary gold rifle in the first 5 seconds of a match.
That looks so satisfying.
If you drop where it is.
Like, I feel like, because you can buy like even more powerful versions of weapons at a bunch of the kiosks you find in the game. You can find like a gold Uzi or something like that. That's the most common one I've found. But like, I feel these should be in like corners of the map that people don't go in, that people aren't spawning onto and are dropping onto. And I just land on a roof and I find this.
Those kinds of things are going to be constantly tweaked and changed. So
the one thing that is really going to test this game right now is how they're handling cosmetics.
Yeah.
So the way they handle cosmetics in this game, it's not like loot crates that you open with points you've earned. It's one of two things. Number one, if you use the in-game currency, you have to first find the item on the map. You find the cosmetic that you want, you pick it up, and no matter whether you win or die, you get to keep that item. But you have to buy it. You have to buy it with the cash
you have to use your
earned
cash
from
to use
playing these matches.
That's weird.
And the amount that's required to buy these is absurd.
But you can probably pay real money to unlock it sooner.
Yeah. So like, if I make it to the top 10 in a match and I've really focused on earning a lot of cash and killing players, I'll maybe walk away with about $2,000 maximum. Okay. A very common item like my shirt here costs like 11,000. So you have to play really fucking well. You have to be very diligent with cash in order to buy a fucking common. I found some shirts that are like uncommons or rares, and they're like 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. But what you can do is you can use real world money to buy gems.
Of course you
and
can.
And you spend gems to buy any of the clothing that's in the
Chris
game
Davis,
without having to find it.
That is truly outrageous.
I'm really more than seeing like the player count. I just kind of want to wait and see to see how the microtransactions do in this game, because like it kind of boggles my mind that people are going to be spending real world money while playing a game that's very clearly, like they said, only in development for 5 months. It seems like, okay, maybe I'm going to wait a little while before I spend real money on it.
Like,
hey, it's your choice if you want to spend
I know.
money.
I mean, that's why I'm genuinely curious to see how many people actually spend real money in a game like this.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting.
Like, I know the consumer friendly solution to this is to, instead of having those paid microtransactions at the launch of this game, you would introduce them later on down the road with a bunch of new interesting cosmetics that people want to buy.
Like you said, they're kind of in a panic mode right now.
Yeah. So they have these founders packs that you can buy for like $15, and that gives you automatic access to a certain amount of cosmetics. But then you also have to spend gems to buy other stuff that's not in this pack.
Yeah,
wonderful.
I don't know. I like the gameplay. I think there's a good foundation here for a game.
You gonna keep playing it?
I kind of want to.
I'd play it just for
but
the
I would
pinata
rather-
people, man.
I would definitely play it with other people.
Yeah.
And I really want to wait like another 4 or 5 months once they double their development time to actually see what they do with it.
Yeah, no,
There's not even female characters. You can
I
play
mean, we said that about Sea of Thieves.
Sexist.
Like, it'll be really cool to see what Sea of Thieves looks like in a year. But more so than that, I think this is going to be more fascinating just because of the fact that it looks so incomplete right now. Like, Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves already has
the
like a
major
established.
difference there, though, is that the game is all here. This is the whole game.
Yeah.
The only thing they're going to improve is visuals. They might add new mechanics here and there. They might tweak
add
how something
textures.
works. But the game itself, like
You
the
don't need to be
actual
balancing and
core of the
tweaking?
game, there will obviously be balancing and tweaking.
Yeah.
But the actual spine of the game is already here.
And
which
it's the other way around
Is
with
not
Sea of
really the
Thieves.
case with Sea of Thieves.
True, true.
Sea of Thieves is kind of these disparate ideas that don't connect yet.
True.
Yeah.
I guess I was more just trying to say, like, you'll be able to see the fruits of
Thieves.
their labor in 6 months more in this game than maybe you
Definitely.
will in 6 months on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At just first glance. Anyways, we need to move on. But
Yeah, we do.
thanks for playing Radical Heights. I'm glad somebody did.
I did too,
oh yeah,
and talked
Crispy
about
did.
it on the podcast before. Just saying.
That's.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody put more time into it.
But
That's
we
all
have
I'm saying.
footage you can watch now.
We'll play
That's
all
true.
the Battle Royale games, so you don't have to.
All right, let's get to these. Let's get to some questions from our supporters on Patreon. Nolan, I think that's you.
Yeah, I know. Chris
Oh,
Davis
yeah.
really needs to fucking set up that shit he bought and never set up.
I mean, I got to get here like 2 hours early.
Well,
What do you
then-
do? No?
Oh my God,
Okay.
we're
Then
gone.
get here earlier, Chris Davis.
Don't worry about it.
One up.
Oh my God.
Come up.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah,
made it
got
to the-
We have
we
one
made it
new
to the
patron
overlay.
this week. Phoenix and Flames
Phoenix
is
and
a new
Flames.
patron. Thanks you.
I feel like I've seen him in chat before. I'm not sure, but thank you, Phoenix and Flames.
yeah,
we really
we
appreciate your
you
support.
being a new patron. So let's get to some questions from our patrons. Every week we post a thread on Patreon where patrons can ask us any question they want.
That's patreon.com/4player.
Correct.
By the way,
First question this week from Mr. Greentos.
he's right there, Mr. Green Toast.
Oh, yeah, there
he's
you
in
go.
chat.
It's a doozy.
Oh, it's a doozy. Huh? Okay.
Would you rather be known as the first person in history to have sex with an outer space alien or a mythological creature? Once you decide, the other members on the couch get to pick what type of alien or creature it is.
Wait, the choice is only between a mythological creature or an alien?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh. Crispy looks like he has like the answer to this one's obvious, and
Like,
now we're all just waiting.
No,
Alien, it
but
can be
like-
anything. Mythological creature we've got to establish, I guess.
I mean, that's like saying, would you rather have sex with a unicorn or Bigfoot? You know, they don't exist.
That's a good question
Well,
too.
those are
Which-
both.
which one would you rather-
You'd have to choose
which-
alien. or
Alien,
not.
obviously.
Alien.
Obviously.
I go alien.
Mythological creatures, I mean, there's going to be some kind of strings attached to that.
also, like,
It's going to be like, you have sex with me, but your dick will never stop growing. And then at first you're like, awesome. And then like a week later, your dick's like 9 foot long, and you're like, I wish I was dead. Like,
that's the only answer we need right there. Jesus Christ.
If it keeps
I
growing,
think I'm
could
gonna
you
go
just,
with
like,
alien.
Trim it?
Yeah.
oh, yeah. You just like have to keep cutting your dick every day. Just to
Oh,
keep
God.
That's like some fucking Greek punishment of the gods bullshit.
That sounds like something out of God of War.
I mean,
I bet Bigfoot would let you be a little spoon.
it's like Sisyphus,
But all the hair, it'd
Cutting
be so
your dick.
hot.
I mean,
It'd be so hot.
with what?
All the hair on
cuddling with
Bigfoot.
You said Bigfoot?
Yeah.
no, I just said
You
that
said
out
you
loud.
want to have sex
You-
with Bigfoot?
No,
You
I
heard
don't
it
wanna
here.
have sex with
Chris
Bigfoot.
Davis
You
wants
heard
to
it
have
here
sex with
first.
Bigfoot. Chris Davis wants to have sex with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
All I said was Bigfoot would probably let you be a little spoon.
Oh my
That's
god.
all I said.
Yeah, the
That
green,
Yeah,
does
but
not
you said
imply that I
it
wanna-
wistfully and
I don't even
longingly.
say the words.
the green goddamn who asked this, or no, Mr. Green
Mr.
Toast asked the
Greentoes.
question. This is the other green. Green goddamn says, "What if the alien might melt your dick off?"
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but you might survive that.
Maybe.
You know what? To be honest, I feel like you could pick alien because there's been so many depictions of aliens that it could be like, well, what if it's one of those like hot lady humanoid aliens,
Yeah.
right? That you see
Like-
in like
like from,
Dude, Where's My Car?
No,
Right,
no,
like
no,
the
no.
kind of alien Kirk would have sex with.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Or like from Total Recall, the lady with the 3 boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm pretty sure most aliens are like Orion slave girls,
Although
right?
she was a mutant, she wasn't actually an
And
alien.
sorry, right?
But the other part of
Isn't
the
that
question is,
She
once
lived on Mars. That's
once
an
we
alien
picked
planet.
alien,
But
She's
she's
an alien.
human.
y'all would
She
get
has
to
3
pick what
boobs.
the alien
Oh,
alien
yeah,
type is. So it's like
obviously, this
no
is
one would
gonna
ever be
horrible
nice.
either way.
No.
Like if Crispy said alien, I wouldn't just go it's the aliens from Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
You would
I
obviously
would say, Nick, I want you to have sex with the most beautiful mermaid you've ever seen. Because I
What
know,
kind of mermaid,
even
though?
if her top half is the most beautiful
She doesn't have
top
a
half
butt?
you've ever seen, like, you're still putting your dick in a fish.
I was gonna go the path of
Fish
like she
sticks.
doesn't have a butt, so it's kind of like
Oh, she has a tail.
That's another title for the
She
show.
got a big tail.
The alien Crispy has to fuck is the guy from Men in Black, the little one. That's like that big. Look at the Orion's belt guy.
Perfectly equipped for that. Wait, with him in his mech suit or like him?
the little
Just-
Orion
just the
belt.
They'll
Wait,
double
wasn't
team
his
you.
mech suit technically a cat? Oh wait, no.
He was the
Yeah,
guy.
he
Oh,
had a
a
person.
He had a
yeah.
pet cat.
That's right.
Which
okay.
I would have to imagine a female version of that. I mean, it'd just be like having sex with a fleshlight, right?
Pretty
Nolan,
much.
I get to pick yours.
Sure.
I'll just keep it on the theme of Men in Black. You get to fuck the pug from Men in Black. What was
Oh,
his
that's
name?
disgusting.
Yeah.
What?
That's
Why would
gross.
you say that?
He was an
You're
alien.
horrible.
That's a dog. We don't
That's not
appreciate
cool.
dog abuse on this show.
It was an alien.
Frank.
Frank.
That was his name.
You have to fuck Frank, okay?
Fucking Elcor from Mass Effect. Hey, you don't know. That could be.
All right, we need to move on.
They could be great in
Could
bed.
be a great life.
Dante asks, this question is mainly for Nick, so we're just going to skip it. You've mentioned on the show several times that you enjoy trying new IPAs.
I do.
I was curious if you have a personal favorite or one that you immediately jump for when you see that it's available. Perhaps my favorite brewing company is Ballast Point, which puts out some really great IPAs. If you haven't already tried some of their stuff, I would highly recommend their Pineapple Sculpin, Grapefruit Sculpin. What the fuck is Sculpin? And their Watermelon Dorado.
Wow, those all
I
sound
actually
very
first
fruity
discovered these
IPAs.
at the Alamo Draft House in Dallas, Texas. So I'm sure they will be fairly easy to find in Austin. Anyways, cheers for the beers and full throttle to the bottle.
Cheers to you as well. I do enjoy trying IPAs. I'm not particularally great with beer names or the names of breweries. The one that jumps to my mind immediately though is when I go to the Draft House, because I discovered it at the Draft House. There's an IPA called Electric Jellyfish, which I believe is a Pint House Pizza. I think they have a brewery, and I think it's one of theirs.
Pine House Pizza is a microbrew. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, Pine House Pizza's Electric Jellyfish is probably one of my favorites. And I tried one the other day when I went to Poorhouse Pizza. I tried an IPA they had there, and I can't remember the name. I should have written it down. It was a fantastic IPA, but I don't remember the name of it. So let's go with Electric Jellyfish.
There's a brewery not far from my house. We should go there sometime.
Man,
we
before the
should.
show.
You can't spit for hitting the wall of a brewery or a microbrewery in this.
I also want to go try
No,
out
I'm just
the.
saying.
I also would like to. I know this. I would like to go try the brewery out in. I think it's past Dripping Springs where Jensen Ackles.
Fuck that. That's fine.
He opened his brewery.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Sir Thomas Thipple. Nothing's worse than a half-finished story. What's a game, movie, or TV show that set itself up for a sequel or more seasons but never continued?
The
Would it be
Darkness
worth
2.
Would it be worth concluding them, or should we let sleeping dogs lie?
Well, the obvious one's Firefly, but then again, they did come back with a movie, and they kind of gave it an ending.
They
I
tried
suppose.
to, yeah.
Half-Life
We
2
talked
Oh,
about it
Half-Life
earlier.
2 episode-
Oh yeah,
episode
Half-Life,
2 is
obviously. We
huge
talked about it
one.
earlier, but I'll say Driftwood.
You mean Deadwood?
It's that too. No, just Driftwood out in the ocean. Yeah, Deadwood, the show.
I haven't finished Deadwood yet, but it's on my list. I would like to watch that. I have HBO Now or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
HBO
whatever,
Go.
yeah.
Alf.
Fuck you,
Alf?
Alf.
Yeah. Like, they evidently ended that on a terrible cliffhanger. Like, they were trying to save the series, and so they had Alf abducted by, like, the CIA.
And that was
they
it?
end the show.
Well, that's because they killed him.
He's in witness protection or something. I don't know.
No, they're, like, going to dissect him.
Oh well, that's
Because he's
dude.
alien life form.
Also, Alf is terrifying. I don't know if y'all know this. That
Eats
thing
cats.
that thing creeped the shit out of me when I was younger.
Something
watch it.
unfinished story.
Could not watch it.
Again, I say the darkness. That
The Darkness
Darkness.
2.
that story was so good.
Ooh, Neon and chat says Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes.
That
No,
was
I'm
that,
gonna
that was
tell
off
you.
a cliffhanger.
I'm gonna
Wait,
tell
what are
you
you
a
talking
really
about?
good
The sequel, Sarah Connor Chronicles is fucking Terminator.
No. The way season 2 ended, it was like
There was
a
more
major
story.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the actual good answer.
All right.
It's a show called Other Space.
That's a good
They
one.
had 8 episodes,
That's a
one
good one.
season. It was on Yahoo Screen, which is why you've never heard of it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The main character was
Dopinder
Dopinder from
Deadpool.
Deadpool. And
The AT&T girl?
The AT&T girl was in it, and there's a few other people who you've probably
You
seen
had me
around.
at AT&T girl.
Yeah.
There's a few people that you've probably seen around as like extras or background people in other movies recently that were part of the main cast of that movie or that show, and it was fucking hilarious. It was great. It's basically the same concept as the Orville,
Yeah.
but it does certain things way better than the Orville.
Yeah,
It like be funny better than the Orville.
Agreed.
I love the Orville, but the Orville's basically just a lighthearted Star Trek at this point.
Yeah.
This show was much more of like a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good.
All right. Oh, we need to move on. I
And
agree
you should
with
look
you,
it
though. Wingless asks, while this may have been discussed, PS5 rumors are swirling about existing dev kits being sent from PlayStation to some companies and a potential 2019 to 2020 release date. How long is long enough for a new console generation? Also, what terrible name will Xbox decide to call its new system? The Xbox Alpha, Xbox Extreme 4.0,
Next box.
Nextbox?
Or I think they'll just go with Xbox 2.
Box
They'll start
X.
doing the PlayStation thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
these rumors about these dev kits going out, they're not actually going out. What is happening is Microsoft and Sony are first hiring engineers to explore what they can do with next generation technology, and they're sending out PC specs that may match to what they think
So
will happen.
they're
in
essentially
2
saying,
years.
hey,
This is what we're aiming
this
for.
is what we think the new one will be. You can essentially, it's. I mean honestly,
There's no, like, box.
any dev kit is that's all it is. It's just a PC with certain specs, and that is
the target.
Yeah.
That's
the
goal.
earliest you're going to actually see actual dev kits for next generation systems is about 18 months before launch. And
Probably,
we're
yeah.
not there yet.
Well, if they're aiming for 2020, we're getting close.
Well, not yet.
We'll see.
we're getting close though.
Xbox.
Here's the thing: like a lot of people are starting to like. I think it's way too early to be making a big deal out of this. And the question about
It's
how
not,
long is
though.
too long or wait, when is the right time, whatever. That is a much grander discussion that I don't think we have time for right this second. It's
Like
it's I would even call that a debate at this point. And the industry is changing.
Well, yeah,
so
and so
much.
we've had this discussion several times, and it's a factor of technology is just growing faster and faster. And I'm sure at some point we will hit a plateau where technology kind of, I won't say it stops growing. It's obviously, computer chips are going to keep getting smaller. PCs are like CPUs are going to keep getting faster. They're going to keep cramming more CPUs onto a single chip. And so I mean, but it's a cost benefit. It's when is the newer technology cost efficient enough for them to bundle it into a system to sell? Like right now, what you could sell as a new system probably wouldn't be cost.
It would
efficient.
be out of the. It also would be out of the price range of most people who.
Well,
are
yeah,
willing
but
to
it's not.
buy these
It's not
systems
just
in the first
about
place.
could I build a new computer that is better than a PlayStation 4 for cheaper than the cost of a PlayStation 4? Maybe, but it's not just about that. It's about making it as efficient as possible, as small as possible, compact, quiet. The fact that you have to design it specifically for aesthetically, so the parts fit together in a certain way that makes good console.
And
there-
it fits in a living room environment.
yeah, exactly. There's a lot of factors that go into that, and that costs money. And so it's not worth it to do it every 3 years or whatever. I know they've talked about making modular consoles, and honestly, I wouldn't be super opposed to that.
The 360 kind of was that.
No,
Modular
it wasn't.
console?
Well, no, with
You
their
could
hard
swap
drives.
out that's not modular. That's swapping out a hard drive.
But
I'm talking about replacing CPUs and GPUs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's at
Modular
that
in
point, isn't it just a
regard.
PC?
That's what consoles are. They're PCs that you can't modify. That's all that they are.
I know, but
Yeah, I don't know how excited they would be about jumping to the next generation. I mean, isn't traditional knowledge that these companies don't even make a profit on consoles for
They usually
6
don't.
years or something like that?
They
Yeah.
usually don't start making a profit until they've done their first revision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so why are they so eager to hop into
I
something new right
I
now?
think
It's
like Chris Davis was saying, I think they're sending out specs to see what they could feasibly do with this technology, mainly because they're fighting against each other.
and not
That's
to
all it
mention,
is. They Sony doesn't want to be unprepared if Microsoft comes out with a new console.
the thing is this is nothing new. This happens in
No.
every cycle.
It is.
It happens every cycle, and
Meanwhile, Nintendo's over in
just
the
not-
corner playing with blocks.
we're just hearing about it maybe sooner than we
Yeah.
have because of the nature of the
But,
world.
yeah,
and the
just
internet
because
and
how
social media
how
and all this shit.
communication works. Yeah.
And part of the push for a new generation is going to depend on how much publishers and developers put pressure on these hardware manufacturers.
I don't think we're very close to PS5 or Xbox.
I think
2
it'll
or
be a
whatever.
little while.
Yeah. It's going to be
Don't
another 3
panic.
years.
We just got the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. I don't think it's years. It's a matter of years.
Just think about
Everybody just relax and enjoy your shit for now, okay?
last console generation was 7 years. It should have been 5, but it was 7.
I mean, it's going to be shorter.
So
it's going to be
it's-
shorter for sure.
No,
These
they will
consoles
be.
launched in 2013.
Yeah.
So another couple years, you'll be okay.
Honestly, yeah. I don't get me wrong. And I don't know if it's maybe just because when the gap between PS2 and PS3 was here, and then PS3 and PS4 was shorter. And I think back then I cared a little more because I was a broke college student.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, dude, like if they were to come out with another one and it was worth it, I'd probably pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's one of those situations where it's like I didn't buy the PS4 at launch. I didn't. I waited like a year and a half. Just because there wasn't enough games on it for me.
Yeah.
And so like I don't think I've ever bought a system at launch. Just because I'm like, you know what? I'll wait a little while. Unless if they were to launch PS5 with like The Last of Us 3 or some shit, I would definitely fucking buy it. Obviously, day one. But I mean, generally, like the launch titles haven't been good enough for me to like.
Like when I bought a PS4, I bought it with the GTA 4 or GTA 5 launch bundle.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I mean, that was like a year and a half after.
All right, well, let's move on. Saifu asks, have you guys ever had to deal
Saifu.
with YouTube? Huh? What?
Is that sci-fi or is that
Saifu.
Oh,
Saifu.
Saifu. Okay.
Yeah,
Saifu
why would I
Waifu.
say? Yeah. Have you guys ever had to deal with YouTube's recommendation feed that keeps spoiling things? Just today, I was bombarded with God of War spoilers and fucking ruined some surprises for me.
I was told to avoid YouTube right now specifically because of God of War.
So here's my thing. YouTube's a weird thing for me because I have a YouTube bookmark, and it's bookmarked to my subscription feed. So I don't ever see like I don't go to like YouTube.com. I don't remember the
you go
last
straight
time
to
I go straight to my subscriptions because that's what I care about, because I don't want to be bombarded by things that I might cause me to go down a rabbit hole. I like to look at I like to look at the subscriptions I have if they've posted new videos and then move on.
Yeah.
But it's not just, YouTube, it's Twitter. When places any media that has like a picture
Hell,
that could fucking ruin your life.
It's been a pain in my ass trying to avoid Infinity War stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep catching like tiny glimpses of things before I realize I'm watching Infinity War or something, and then I have to like look away or like change to a different screen or whatever. But I've still some stuff has slipped through.
It happens.
It's hard to avoid that shit these days.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard. I mean, so the short answer to your question is yes.
Yeah.
I would say as you're getting close to a new game, especially when you start to see reviews for games come out prior to launch, like God of War reviews were out a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to see reviews coming out for a game that's like 1 or 2 weeks away, it's pretty safe bet you'll probably start seeing spoilers and shit
Yeah.
on social media. So at that point, I would just like avoid those things.
Yeah.
All right. Final question this week from Phoenix and Flames,
Yeah.
our new patron.
See what he's got.
Last week, it was mentioned that Crispy has a Wes Anderson related tattoo.
He does.
Does anyone else on the podcast have any tattoos? If so, what are they? By the way, I'm from Arizona.
They're a bunch of wusses. They'd never.
I want one,
They
but
would
I've
never.
no. I've wanted one for
Would-
so long. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I.
Tonight's the night.
On your
I
butt.
thought about
You do
something. I
that.
thought about something Dexter related, but I was like, I don't want to creep people out either.
What's tonight's the night? It's not creepy.
I know, but
Maybe-
like the
maybe-
moment you tell someone that it's a serial killer, and they'll be
Maybe
like,
if you got like a blood slide or like a silhouette of a guy stabbing someone, that would be a little rare.
Dude, you could get a nice little baby tattoo that you could cover up that's like that big. It's just a blood slide with a little blood
I
splat.
thought about.
You could tell people it's a
blood
birthmark.
See, I feel like you're telling me that'd be cool, and be like, you did it.
Or you could
I don't
not
know.
be a dweeb and get a real tattoo.
Maybe.
What about the 4-player logo?
Fuck
There you
you.
go.
Oh, I'm not.
Let's
Maybe.
do it.
Maybe.
Now, not as a tramp stamp.
We've already talked
but,
about
like-
this. You have to get the head of your penis in the shape of a one-up mushroom.
Oh, I forgot
We've
about
had
that.
this conversation.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The
Robin
green
just
and
got
the
the
white.
got the white tree of Gondor tattooed on her.
That's gotta be complicated.
No, it's actually really.
Because those tattoo artists do like 5 a day.
Yeah. I mean, if I got one, it would have to be dick butt on my butt. Yeah.
At
'Cause
this
barely
point,
anyone would see it.
at this point,
I'm not saying I would show it to you on the daily, Nick.
You put it. I put him on my wedding cake.
Yeah.
It's going on my body.
It wasn't my wedding cake. It was
Sorry,
my
it was
groom's
your
cake.
it was more than
Groomsman cake. Sorry.
That. It's been on everything.
Yeah.
It's only. I'm just saying. It's only a matter of time before it ends up on
You know,
your
I
body.
thought about Crispy's groomsman speech the other day.
Everybody. I think
His
about that
best
thing
man
like
speech.
once or twice a day.
You got to put that on YouTube so I can.
That was a high point.
Eventually
of my
I
life.
will.
Put it on the 4Player account.
I'll never achieve such greater heights again.
But yeah, that's it. That's all the questions from our patrons this week. Thank you to all of our lovely patrons for those questions. Once again, every week we post a thread. Ask us any question. Obviously, we got some weird ones tonight.
Yep.
But yeah, we appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you guys. Patreon.com/4player is where you can find our campaign if you're interested in contributing. $1 a month is all it takes to ask us questions. You also get 24-hour early access to all of our podcast episodes without ads, which is worth mentioning.
Yep.
All right. So, time to wrap up the show as we always do. 4Player Minute. We each say our hype, sweat, thank you, and fuck you, or any combination of those. Who would like to begin?
I can, I guess.
Alrighty.
All right. So my 4-player minute starts now. My hype. God of War, obviously. I mean, come on. It comes out tomorrow. I'm super fucking excited for it.
I was really worried because like a week before the reviews came out, people like there was one that leaked out, and it was like some, it was not like a huge website or something, but like somebody posted a link in our Discord. It was like, here's a review, take it with a grain of salt. But like this smaller website says they reviewed the game and they gave it like an 80 or something, and they talked about how like the story sucks. And I was like, what? And then the reviews came out, and it's like everyone's like, it's practically a masterpiece. And I'm like, oh, the other one was kind of must have been full of shit.
You do have to keep the whole hype wave in mind too.
True.
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow.
My sweat is going to go to Ni no Kuni 2. I haven't been playing that. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing it. This is the point.
Starting to run out of steam.
This is the point of time where like so many games are starting to come out, and
Quit. Punch out. Punch out. Just play more Assassin's Creed.
I would rather.
And fucking.
You say that disparagingly, but like that's
Dude, honestly, at this point, I would rather play Radical Heights than Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh,
wow.
God, no, play some more Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, well, that would be dude. You don't know how many times, Crispy, I'm sitting on my computer and I have Steam open
like,
and I see Binding of Isaac Afterbirth just sitting there,
I could play
and I'm like, maybe just one run, but thankfully I've been able to stop myself from doing it.
Son of a bitch.
So that was
That strength
sweat.
will fail.
My thank you. I guess I'm gonna give it to my mom for making me go to the Quidditch World Cup or U.S. Cup. I did actually enjoy it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I had a pretty good time. I drank. There was a food truck there that had some. It was a coffee thing, and they had a bunch of Harry Potter flavored thing. They had butterbeer, and they had. Well, I got the Dementor's Kiss, which was it was half white mocha, half white chocolate mocha, half chocolate mocha drink. What?
It just reminded me of that part from The Office where Michael had that character that was supposed to be a prisoner and he was trying to scare straight everybody, but he didn't know what prison was like, so he's just like, hey, the worst part was the Dementors. They're flying around everywhere, sucking out your souls.
Yeah.
Like,
Holy shit.
Skittles.
Skittles.
Skittles, just subscribe. Thank you.
And then my fuck you. Oh shit, I had it. I should have wrote
Goes
it
to your
down.
TV for
No,
the
it's
volume
not my TV. I had. Yeah, it was what we talked about earlier. The spoilers. Like, I fucking hate when that happens to me. Game of Thrones season 1, the guy who dies at the end, that's got spoiled for me in the headline of a fucking article.
Batman.
Like, yeah, go fuck yourself if you just like put up spoilery shit like that. Like, come on, man. Like even
bombs
Brad
and
earlier,
vaginas.
like, oh, it was just 2 years ago. You know what, Brad? People don't always have time.
It was 2 years on an M. Night Shyamalan movie, to be fair.
To be fair, but still, like, don't just spoil shit. Like,
everything has the same.
if anyone's like, oh, it's 10 years old, whatever. If someone says please don't, like, don't be a dick. Like, just don't.
Fuck dicks.
Unless you don't like
Wait.
that person, then be a dick.
Wait.
You thought about that for a second.
Wait a
before you said
second.
it.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
All right. Crispy?
All right, my hype this week is also for God of War. I'm gonna go pick it up as soon as I can tomorrow, and there's my weekend.
Yeah. Right.
My Sweat is for Yakuza because I actually really want to start 6. It is at home on my desk. I'm looking at it every day, but I'm not even done with 0 yet. And I feel like if I just drop 0 and start 6, I will never go back to 0. And that's a really bad
Can you
spot.
hold on 1 second? I just also wanted to say that I definitely also want to start 6 based on the footage from earlier. But yeah, anyway, continue, Crispy.
My thank you for the week goes to the RGN gods because I actually got Hanzo's Scion skin out of a loot box randomly. That was a really rare one, and it's fucking dope. He's fucking like wearing a suit and like vest and everything, and he's got his bow and arrow. Really fucking cool. I wanted that one out of the Archives event, and I got it. Just
Good
out
for
of
you.
a fucking random drop. Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Did I say RGN? I meant RNG.
RGN, whatever.
No, the RGN guys.
Same
Look it up. If you don't know what I'm
difference.
talking about, then you're streets behind.
You've never heard of the random generator number?
Generator number, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
And then my fuck you for the week goes to everyone in chat who just corrected me. How dare you point out my faults? I'm sorry.
Of which you have none.
Of which I have none. Actually, my fuck you for the week, I'm going to give it to... Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really hate anything this week. I'm going to... On my drive home tonight, I will think of something, and I'll just like yell it out in my car alone. Nobody will hear
At a
it.
stoplight, just roll the window down.
Fuck! Ah, fuck!
Fuck you to I-35.
But yeah, fuck you, I-35. Fuck you, everyone else who lives in this city. Fuck you, dude who gave me a dirty look when he cut me off today. You cut me off. You cut me off. I didn't cut you off.
Sorry.
I don't care if it's 7:45 in the morning.
Sorry, that was me.
Yeah, I
My
know.
bad. Wait, did you say 7:45 in the morning? That was certainly not me.
It was bad.
Definitely
It was
not
like-
me.
I wasn't even awake. I was like, fuck this guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know
Cool.
who you are, random white dude, but fuck you.
Oh my goodness.
Chris Davis?
Chris
All right.
Davis?
My first type this week is for E3.
That's still a ways
the-
away.
Yeah, it's still a ways away, but they just the news and the announcements keep coming. Like they announced
The
Serious Sam
rumors.
4
Oh,
today.
I guess they did that.
I'm like, what? That they are actually fucking doing that?
is that the same? Is that Crow Team, right?
Crow Team still? Yeah.
They went
Oh
from
yeah, and didn't they say something about it being like massive or?
I don't know, but
They
if
said
you look
something
at-
that made everyone go like, "Oh God, battle royale!"
I mean, I don't know about that, but they showed a really big fucking field with a shit ton of enemies. But like the title card for that game has Sam, and then there's like 8 other characters behind him.
Of
And it looks
course.
like fucking Team Fortress 2 silhouettes to me. But I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Okay,
But yeah, fucking E3, man, it's coming up.
they're going
it
after
is
that Overwatch
approaching
money.
fast.
And I get to burn vacation time because I fucking need to. Second hype, Yakuza 6. First Yakuza experience for me. I've only played a few hours. Or I've watched a couple hours and I've played about an hour. And fucking Kazuma, like, I know I'm gonna like him as a character. Like he's the most imposing man in the world, but he's also the nicest guy you'll ever come
With a
across.
heart of gold.
Heart of gold. And so innocent and naive. Like, when I came across the live chat, like, subquest, and he was like, live chat. What is this?
Of which we watched earlier,
Oh,
which was great.
that's going to be a great quest. That
Oh, it
really
is. I can attest.
Yeah.
Even though I never played it.
Third hype is for Avengers Infinity War. I actually
Don't say a fucking word, or I'll kill you.
I bought my ticket. I'm going to leave work early next Friday and go see it at the Draft House. And I'm a little mad I didn't get like the Mondo glasses.
I did. Oh yeah.
They sold out fucking immediately, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna be like $50 on
That was
eBay like the first day. And
trying
like
to get
$200 the
those
next
was
day.
fun.
Yeah. And my sweat this week, I have to issue an apology to George. So I was watching a Giant Bomb live stream about a week ago, and they started playing a game called Snakebird.
Of which he thanked you for.
And it's a delightful looking game, but it's one of those masochistic puzzle games that is designed to break your brain.
Of course.
And he started playing it on his cast the other day, and I think I may have broken George as a person.
Oh shit.
Like,
Wait, I thought he was playing System Shock.
he was playing System Shock and then he played some Snake
Okay.
Bird. Like, I love the aesthetic of that game, but it hurts even... My brain was, like, hurting after the second puzzle. So... Sorry, George. I didn't mean to really... destroy you
So
as a person.
sorry.
Good job.
Well, good luck, George.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. My hype this week is actually for fucking Spider-Man.
Oh,
Holy
wait,
shit.
the game?
The game.
Okay.
I finally got a chance to read through the Game Informer article this week because they
Mm-hmm.
went into a bunch of detail in that. And it sounds like my dream Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
I know I want to keep my hype in check a little bit, but it sounds to me, it feels the way I feel reading about this game and seeing footage of this game, and I'm getting the same vibe that I got when I first saw Batman Arkham Asylum and started like getting hyped about that and
Yep.
like reading about that. Like everything that I read sounds like what I want.
Sure.
You know, I
So-
remember when they first announced this game, and you were like, Insomniac making a Spider-Man game?
Yeah, because there was a Spider-Man game was rumored to be announced, but it
Yeah.
was rumored that it was gonna
Sucker
be,
Punch.
It was going to
Yeah.
be Sucker Punch because
Yeah.
no one knew what the fuck they were doing,
Yeah.
and it turns out it's Ghosts of Tsushima, which also looks great. But you
It
know,
does.
Yeah.
this is crazy. This
Well, that
is,
cinematic trailer looks great. I
Yeah.
don't know what the fucking game is.
hey, whatever it is, it'll be worth our time.
I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
My sweat goes to Dragon Quest XI. I had a little back and forth with Brad and people in Discord and on Twitter and whatnot, and I'm not super like I am excited for this game, but I was a little shocked when I guess the creative director or the director of the game in an interview was basically talking about the game and said the game is not open world, which seems to me a bit strange for a JRPG. And I know there's a lot of different definitions of open world. It just seems to me like people were talking about all these examples of games they wouldn't consider open world that I totally consider open world.
Sure.
So to hear someone like a director describe their RPG as a non-open world game kind of sets off some alarm bells for me. I don't know. It's probably going to
Hey,
be fine.
I mean, sometimes I look for games that are less open world just because there's
Sure.
less distractions,
Sure.
and so I can just focus on the game and play it, and then
For me,
finish
like
it. Yeah.
it's just for me like I understand you can have an open world game that is still gated, but I would still call it an open world game.
Sure.
So when I saw they said not open world, I was like, so are you telling me this is a linear? Like I know. Like not, I'm talking about like I'm worried. I don't want this to be Final Fantasy 13 is what I'm
yeah.
worried about.
I don't
but
think you have to worry about that.
I probably don't. So I'm not gonna spend too much time about it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm a little nervous. My fuck you of the week goes to the fucking final boss of Far Cry 5. That I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck that was. Like, I literally could have like enjoyed that ending more than I did, probably had I not just played that god awful boss fight.
Sure.
It was
Agreed.
atrocious.
It was like Far Cry 2, but like...
Far Cry 2 didn't even have a final boss fight, really. The thing is,
I mean, I would count like when you fought all your compatriots that you've made friends with throughout the entire game in one area.
a Far Cry...
I would consider that a boss fight.
That happened in Far Cry 2?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You went to the Heart of Darkness, and you had the Case of Diamonds, and all your friends that you'd met, like 20 of them,
Oh, but like
decided to fucking turn on you and kill you.
But like the context of that made more sense than it did here. Anyways, the point of the matter is that Far Cry 2 or Far Cry 5 boss fight was god awful, and I think it kind of left a sour taste at the tail end of that game because I was really enjoying that game. I like a lot of things about that game, but man, the game ended weird. And my sweat, or my other sweat, I'll say, is Capcom filed some trademarks this week. One of which was for Onimusha.
Really?
Don't play with my heart, you.
I mean,
sons
they're
of
probably
bitches.
just making sure they still own it.
I
mean,
know. I know. Oh my god! But don't do it. Don't fucking play with my heart. I want there to be a new Onimusha. If I come out of E3 this year and there's another Onimusha or another Dino Crisis, I'll be happy.
100 Samanosuke is jump out of a plane.
Oh god! If it's a fucking battle royale Onimusha game, don't you jinx the shit. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. 4playernetwork.com is our website. Please check us out. Bookmark us. You can find all of our podcast episodes there. You can also watch us stream games every single night on Twitch. We have a channel called 4pp.tv. You can watch us there. I recommend watching us in theater mode.
Ooh, yes.
You can only do that on our live channel as opposed to the actual Twitch channel. So check that out.
You can do theater.
Our channel's sexier.
Our channel is actually sexier than watching on Twitch.
You
I'm
can do
telling
theater
you.
mode on Twitch.
For a refined cinematic
Sounds good, though.
Ours is better though.
Ours is better, yeah.
Ours has dark mode.
Yeah, fuck.
You had to install.
Just take our word
You
for
had
it,
to
damn it.
install an extension to get dark mode on Twitch.
Just take our word for it. It's better on 4pp.tv. Anyways, I'll be streaming God of War tomorrow noon for a few hours, and Nolan will be streaming tomorrow night more God of War. Or
Yep.
yeah, so if you miss it watching with me, you can watch it with Nolan in the evening. So check that out. And yeah, that's it. We'll be back next Thursday night to talk about more video games. There'll be a lot of God of War discussion next week, I promise. And until then, good night. And yeah, we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good luck.